Uncharted territory traveled tonight for the first time in North Carolina history, spring playoff football. West Shore home, Friday Night Rivals presented by Nissan presents the road to the 2021 state championship. It begins tonight with the 4-5 first round matchup between the Wake Forest Cougars and the Millbrook Wildcats. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Raleigh, North Carolina, alongside former ECU standout Jay Sohnhalter, Patrick Keenis, and Jay. A lot of coaches, a lot of players never thought we'd get to this stage, but here we are. The playoffs begin tonight.
Yeah, Patrick, so much excitement for these coaches and players, and this is going to be an outstanding ball game. Both teams really well coached and physical front sevens. It's going to come over to turnovers and special teams in the ball game tonight.
All right, going to be a number of quality players to watch, Jay. Who are a couple tonight?
Well, for Wake Forest, they're known for their defensive line. They've got another great junior in Chris Allen, number 94. He's only a junior. He's got offers from Akron and ODU, and I'd expect more to come in. That 3-4 defensive end is so important in this defense. He's sturdy. He's an acre up front, and he can get in the backfield. On the opposite side, Millbrook has Wesley Grimes, another top junior, getting ACC, SEC recruiting interest. He's had offers come in this week from Virginia and Louisville. On the outside, he can beat you with his deep speed, but also the intermediate routes are going to be really important tonight because you know Wake Forest is going to double team them.
All right, Jay, these programs, these head coaches, Reggie Lucas and Clarence Incourt know each other intimately. Let's get to the keys tonight for both sides.
On the defensive end for the Cougars, they cannot give up the big play through the air. On the offensive end, Reggie Lucas told us, hey, we've got to score points. We've got to be explosive on the offensive end. For Millbrook, the turnover battle is so important. Clarence Incourt really has harped on his team this week to protect the football and then winning up front in the battle of the trenches. That's where this game's going to come down to.
All right, these two teams have played in the regular season every year for a long time, a generation, except this year. They meet up in the opening round of a bizarre 2021 spring season. The playoffs begin next. It's the 4AA first round matchup. Wake Forest, Millbrook. Kickoff is next. Playoff football is finally upon us. The spring 2021 high school championships across the state of North Carolina. You think they are ready to go? We didn't know we would get here 4 months ago, but now the first round is upon us. It's the 4AA opening round between the 4-seed Millbrook Wildcats and the 5-seed Wake Forest Cougars. Patrick Keenis, Jay Sohnhalter, beautiful evening in central North Carolina. 67 degrees, a crosswind. And Wake Forest, the three-time consecutive state champs, 2016, 2017, 2018, knocked off in the regional finals in 19 as they bid for a four-peat. They are in the white road uniforms, and we are underway of the opening round of the 4AA playoffs. And a penalty marker is down at the kickoff, and it's an infraction against the Cougars. Well, this is quite a test for Millbrook. 5-2 overall, 5-1 out of the Cap 7, finished runner-up to Cardinal Gibbons. They, along with the Cougars, who finished second out of the Northern Conference to Roseville, they've effectively been playing elimination games, Jay, for the last 3 weeks. Any losses in the last 3 weeks, they wouldn't be here tonight.
Yeah, they've been hot, and they felt that urgency. They're averaging over 40 points per game since that Cardinal Gibbons loss, so they've been on fire. But this team overall is really influxed with young talent and veteran leadership.
All right, so Millbrook's lone loss came to Cardinal Gibbons 33-7. That was in week 4. Wake Forest only blemish in week 5, a 36-3 loss to Roseville, which is the 2 seed in the 4AA Eastern region. And we will re-kick and ready to open things up. Ethan Howard will be on the approach for Wake Forest. Glad you were with us tonight. Enjoy the game and enjoy the path to the state championship game. And our second attempt beginning the playoffs underway, successful. End over end, shallow kick, fielded by Millbrook at the 16-yard line and returnable across the 30 and down to about the 33-yard line. Markeith Lucas On the tackle, Caleb Stevens brought it back for Millbrook. And we'll get a look at the Millbrook offense, averaging about 35 points a game. And Ford Spainhauer, the quarterback for Millbrook, his dad an alumnus of Wake Forest. Spainhauer will engineer this offense for Millbrook as we take a look at the Nissan starting lineups for the Millbrook Wildcats.
Jalen Donaldson has really come on big here as the season's worn on. He won a state championship on the basketball court, and he's a key piece with the balance on this offense. He's done a nice job from the running back position.
All right, Wesley Grimes, number 1 in the dark uniforms at the bottom of your screen. Spainhauer looking his way. He has his man beat. Grimes makes the catch up the left sideline. He beats Tristan Spencer to the end zone. One play, 67 yards, and a quick strike for the Millbrook Wildcats.
When you see here, plenty of time up front for Spainhauer. He looked out to the right, then came back towards the left, saw one-on-one coverage, no safety help over the top. And Grimes early on, first play of the ball game, you see that speed and you see the reason why SEC and ACC schools are after him.
And what did Wake Forest coach Reggie Lucas stress yesterday to us? We cannot allow the big plays, force the Wildcats to churn down the field. It takes Millbrook 14 seconds to take a touchdown lead as the 4AA playoffs are underway. A statement punctuated by that man for Millbrook. That is Wesley Grimes. That is Grimes' 11th touchdown reception of the year on the opening play of the opening game of the 4A playoffs. One of the best wide receivers in the state of North Carolina. And we talked with Clarence Inscore a couple of weeks ago. He said he feels like this is his best team ever and a chance to go deep in the playoffs. This is Tristan Spencer on the return for Wake Forest. Finds a hole up the middle and takes this one across the 30. And we will see the Wake Forest offense on the field for the first time, trailing by 7. And they are led by Chad Hillman, who's in his first year as the everyday quarterback for this Cougar squad. But they don't throw much. They don't rely on him to throw. They rely on him to run this wing T offense to perfection.
Well, and he's a senior, and his leadership has been so important. But when they throw, which is around 10 times per ball game, they've had explosive plays through the air. It's just important for the Cougars to pick their spots tonight.
All right, so their quarterback, Chad Hillman, wearing number 12, and a whistle before the snap. Penalty marker is dropped, and this will be offsides on Millbrook. Well, couldn't ask for a better start if you're a Wildcat fan. We have seen Millbrook in action a couple of times this year. In the one game the Wildcats lost to Cardinal Gibbons, they did a fantastic job on Grimes. Single safety over the top, man-to-man coverage, and they just bracketed him and really avoided any kind of targets for one of the top wideouts in the state.
And after that ball game, Millbrook really watched that film and kind of readjusted their offense to find ways to get him highlighted in one-on-one situations, have him set up off the line of scrimmage, get him in motion, find different ways to get him the ball.
And this is Hillman, dumps out, little screen to the right side. Reception is made by Michael DePasquale, and Pasquale out near midfield. That'll be good for about 16 yards as we take a look at the Nissan starting lineups for the offense for Wake Forest.
The important part of this offense is that running back position, and you're going to see multiple guys get the ball tonight, but I'm most impressed with their ability to block. Everybody is interchangeable, very unselfish, and physical from that running back spot.
And interesting to see the first play from scrimmage, a little quick screen to the sideline. DePasquale, the second leading receiver on this team. And it hits immediately in the backfield, snuffs out Chris Moore. Hit for a loss in the backfield, loss of a couple. And a look at the Nissan starting lineups for the Millbrook defense, and we will key one of their top defensive ends.
Yeah, and this defense is really good up front. That front seven, they're going to play a 3-4 defense. Santiago and Rutledge out on the edge are important pieces coming off with blitzing schemes and also shooting gaps in the run game.
All right, loss of 4. Second down for Wake Forest. Out of the gun is Hillman. He hands to Trey Stencil, and Stencil brought down just shy of midfield. In on the tackle for Millbrook is Nolan Hatley, the junior linebacker.
And there's some late movement down the defensive line for the Wildcats. Right before the ball was snapped, saw the defensive line shift over towards the right, just change the gap to try to slow down the thought process for the offensive line in their blocking assignment.
Well, this is not where the Cougars want to be very often here tonight. Third down behind the chains after the defense uncharacteristically gives up a big play. They need 11 to throw. Hillman. He will air it out left sideline, man-to-man coverage. Penalty marker comes in, and that's going to be interference on Wake Forest, or pardon me, on Millbrook. Looking for Camden Raj down that left sideline.
Oh, and Raj with good speed, and that was tough. As he was down there, he was going to be wide open, but he felt the contact, couldn't get back around because such physical play and an easy flag being thrown.
And now the officials go back to the original line of scrimmage as we get the call. And then now they will mark it off. Again, it was 3rd and 11. And here's a look at the replay.
Good job up front. Plenty of time for Hillman to throw. And we see here, that's obvious. His hands right in the chest.
Well, the penalty goes on Ethan Lentz, number 11. Now they will mark it off. And this will be a 15-yard variety. And the football will be spotted at the Millbrook 36-yard line. Well, Wake Forest began the year with a convincing win over Garner. Then in the second game of the season, when we talked with Reggie Lucas yesterday, he said that was going to be our true litmus test. The game against Cardinal Gibbons, see where we were as a squad. But the game was postponed because of COVID-19 protocols within the Gibbons program. And they really didn't get that test until they met Roseville a couple of weeks later and got an idea where they were and what they needed to improve on.
Well, this is a team, is continuing to get better. There's a lot of young players on this ball club, and for the playoff run, this being week 7, normally this is the 7th week of the regular season, so a different year. Early on in this ball game, you can see Millbrook is shooting the gaps. First down blitzes, bringing the linebackers up in the A gap to try to force Wake Forest to run outside.
Loss of 4. In motion, Stancil, and again we will see Hillman go to the air for a 3rd time already. They swing it out to Deepaswali, open down the left side, inside the 20, and marked down right around the 18-yard line. So maybe a switch in the offensive philosophy for a team that's predominantly on the ground, predominantly wing T, 5 offensive plays, 3 passes.
Hansel Phipps, the offensive coordinator, sees the adjustments that need to be made. With run blitzes coming up, he's just getting the ball outside. You saw the front 7 totally falling for the run. That second level of the defense is wide open.
It is a 1st down at the 17, and this is Chris Moore again. Staying between the tackles, picks up maybe a couple of yards. And again, it goes back to the familiarity between these two programs. They have played in the regular season as long as each of these two head coaches can remember. So you're talking 15, 20 years. And not this year, but they certainly know what they do and what they do well. And now, what you know, in the first game of the playoffs, they're changing it all up.
Yeah.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. First offensive series for the Cougars. Little jet sweep, Deepaswali, swallowed out deep in the backfield. And another tackle for a loss from Millbrook. This time it's David Santiago, the sophomore, reading that, stringing it out, and dropping Deepaswali for a big loss.
Now look at this recognition. He sees the ball coming over towards his side, and then what do? When you've got a blocker holding on you, you get low, shed him, threw him to the inside, kept that left hand free, and then made the tackle.
Santiago, just a sophomore, one of the top underclassmen in the state, regardless of the side of the football. I mean, he is already a beast, and think how much better he's going to be in another couple of years. 3rd and now 16 for Wake Forest. Hillman again, across the middle, hits Spencer inside the 10. The helmet is lost, and Spencer nudges forward. He's close to the 1st down, but he'll be short. So it was Spencer that made the catch, Spencer that lost the helmet. And Wake Forest is going to be about 2 yards short, and it's 4th down.
Well, Chris Bunting, the defensive coordinator for Millbrook, only brought 3. He dropped everybody else back in coverage, and that's what allowed Millbrook to keep the ball in front of him and then make the tackle before they got to the sticks.
And Wake Forest will be attempting a field goal here. Again, the wind is from the right to the left. And this will be about a 26-yard attempt. It is on the way. Plenty of leg from Ethan Howard, and it is no good. So the Cougars trying to get points on the board. Eschew a 4th and 2, go for a field goal and miss it. And Millbrook will take over.
Reggie Lucas talked with us this week about special teams, Patrick, and how important it's going to be throughout the playoff run, if they make it through. But tonight, early on, you see special teams coming into play. We'll continue to monitor it throughout the ball game. But who can win that third phase is probably going to be who wins this game.
So a strong opening drive by Wake Forest, especially through the air, but no points. This is just the second play from scrimmage for Millbrook, and it's an incomplete pass out to the left flat looking for Ethan Lentz.
Tristan Spencer, defensive back there, really good recognition coming up there, seeing that pass go out to the perimeter and then breaking on it to knock it up.
Now the top backs for Millbrook, Nick Hudson, number 3, Jalen Donaldson, number 2. Both ran for about 250 this year, but Donaldson averaged about 11 yards a carry. 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats. Out of the pistol. Shuffling across the line is Lentz, and the give here is to Donaldson straight at the middle for maybe a half yard.
And for Wake Forest, they're loading things up in the box. Grimes was set up in one-on-one coverage again, so we'll see kind of the game between the lines here as far as the defense coordinator, the offense coordinator, how they're going to change up their alignments. But right there, Wake Forest is playing the run.
Well, focus your eyes at the bottom of the screen. It's going to be Deshaun Grant, the sophomore cornerback, who's man-to-man and now press coverage against Grimes. 3rd and a long 9 for the Wildcats. They look for Grimes, a little middle screen, makes the fingertip catch, tries to shed a blocker, and then gets hammered right at the 25-yard line, taken down by Fuller Howard, and that presents 4th down, and Millbrook will kick it away.
And that was really good defense. Nigel Lucas, Reggie Lucas' son, was the safety over the top. Millbrook tried to get the ball to Grimes underneath and then let him use his athleticism to try to pick up the 1st down, but the Cougars, nice job in run support after that catch, come up and make the tackle.
So Hunter Crouton to punt it away for Millbrook. And back is Tristan Spencer. He is dangerous. And it's a spinner, and it's into the wind. It will clear the head of Spencer. And he will think about picking it up and get very close to touching the football. And it's down by Millbrook's Nathan Leacock back at the 19-yard line. Big boots and suboptimal field position for Wake Forest when we return. 6:17 left first quarter. Millbrook by 7. $7-0 lead for Millbrook about midway through this opening quarter as the 4AA North Carolina High School Athletic Association playoffs get underway. Glad you are with us tonight. And a look inside the final bit of instructions on the sideline before Wake Forest comes on the field for its 2nd possession of the game. An early strike by Millbrook on the first play of this contest. But Jay, let's talk about what Wake Forest endured last week to qualify for the playoffs, to finish 2nd out of the Northern. They had a game against Heritage on Friday night that lasted into Saturday morning because of weather, and you were there.
Yeah, and they didn't get much sleep. I probably got much more sleep than they did, but they played Heritage. A nice run here on 1st down.
DePasquale, a cutback. Now he swings to the open side of the field. Marker is down. DePasquale gets past another, and an ankle tackle from behind inside the 25-yard line. But this might be coming back. Jaden Felton able to track him down, but a marker just in right around the area of the 40-yard line, and likely a block in the back or a hold. And it is a block in the back against Wake Forest.
Let's see here, good job up front. Look at the offensive line clearing the path. Nice kick out, and then the cut back to the inside, and we'll see the block in the back right there going against Ethan Lentz. And an easy call, and you see the flag flying in.
So the marker went down to the 39. They mark it from there 10 yards back. So this is going to be, I believe, a 1st down and about a yard. Now they are moving the chain, so it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 29. Well, that would have been about a 60-yard gain with no illegal block, but without that block in the back, it may not have gone that far anyway. Handoff, Stancil. And Stancil loses a couple, and that's been a theme so far on most of the first downs for Wake Forest thus far.
Well, Millbrook is just continuing to bring linebacker blitzes, loading things up and shooting the gaps. You see they're off the backside, just creating havoc. Galloway coming through there to make the play.
Now this is a staff for Wake Forest that can make adjustments. Again, last week's game, after the first quarter was delayed, wasn't canceled yet, or wasn't postponed until the next day, they actually, during that delay, went back and watched the video of that first quarter and things that they needed to make adjustments on. Stancil again, little misdirection to the 35-yard line and hanging on for dear life to make the tackle as Millbrook brings him down. As Gage Crawford on the tackle, number 6 for Millbrook.
Whenever you have a defense that's playing fast, over pursuing, that's when you mix in that misdirection to try to slow them down. That was a nice play call to get the Wildcats flowing over towards the left and then bring the ball back towards the right.
So a couple yards to go on third down. That game did resume the following morning, Saturday morning at 10:30. The coaching staff actually made a number of phone calls late Friday night to the homes of some of the players to make sure they were taking it seriously and not out with their friends and getting rest for what was really a playoff play-in game. And on 3rd and 2, a stick again in the backfield by the Millbrook defense. It's Cooper Rutledge this time who made the initial hit, and Wake Forest is faced with a 4th and 6 and likely going to punt the football.
Well, Rutledge coming off that edge, he's so dangerous. He stays low, has a really good frame. And you see the first step quickness, you saw the ball snap and then immediately took off. This defense with those bookends of Santiago and Rutledge, it's so tough to block both of those guys. One of them is going to be double teamed, but it's going to leave the other one in a one-on-one pass rush.
Quick snap, they do get the punt away, and it is down by Wake Forest at the 28-yard line. So 36 on the kick. 3:59 left opening quarter, 7-0 to Millbrook. Now Millbrook, meanwhile, recovered after that loss against Cardinal Gibbons, and the offense did not miss a beat. That's the one area where Clarence Inscore really feels good about this Millbrook team. They figured out a way to get the ball in the hands of Grimes more often. When we talked to him about that Cardinal Gibbons game where Grimes was basically a non-factor, he said, yeah, that was really bad coaching on our part. We could not figure out a way to get the football in our best player. They go opposite Grimes here, and this pass whistles right through the hands of Nathan Leacock.
Between getting Grimes the ball and then also the emergence of Jalen Donaldson, getting more playing time. Again, when we saw him a couple weeks ago, he was fresh off the basketball state championship. So he's gotten a couple more weeks into football shape, and this offense has really taken off because of that.
167 points Millbrook has scored in the last 3 games. 2nd and 10. Spainhour out of the gun. Fakes to Lentz, keeps it, and runs up the right side. Spainhour for almost a first down. Tackled just shy and should bring up 3rd and short for Millbrook.
Well, interesting here. Spainhour going back towards the 2 top defensive players for the Wildcats. Allen and Isaiah Pipkin. The Toledo commitment from the junior, both of those guys falling over towards the opposite side of the field, and then Spainhour just comes right back, replaces them, gets positive yards.
And it will be an NC 529 first down. It's never too early or too late to start saving for education. First down, Millbrook 39-yard line, leading by 7. This is Grimes in motion. And a penalty marker comes in. Play clock may have expired. And it is a false start against Millbrook.
And the past 2 plays, again, we talked about Chris Allen, the junior, with Old Dominion and Akron offers, as well as Isaiah Pipkin. He's committed to Toledo. Pipkin, number 11, Allen, number 94. They're lined up next to each other. So up at the top of the screen, it's going to be important for that right side of the offensive line to hold up the 2 best defenders for the Cougars.
All right, first down 15. Grimes again in motion. We'll see a lot more of this tonight than we saw against Gibbons about a month ago. Pressure coming from the edges, stepping up, throws to a wide open receiver, hits Leacock, and Leacock dragged down inside the 25-yard line by Nigel Lucas. Spainauer bought some time, stepped forward in the pocket, and another deep strike, this time to Leacock.
This is excellent quarterback play. Look at the coverage out there, moved his feet, scanned the field, and then went right down the middle, eluded the pass rush. Wake Forest brought the blitz. He just moved up in the pocket, stayed calm, and then threw a strike.
Spainauer already over 100 yards in this opening quarter. Another NC 529 first down. Never too early or too late to start saving for education. As the clock stops at 2:42, timeout on the field after that big play. And again, the defense for Wake Forest, if you've been following high school football across this state over the last decade, this is probably the most dominant big school program, at least in the eastern region, if not in the state. In the last 10 years, they have been to or won the state championship 6 times. They've won it 3 times. They've lost the final 3 times. They had that 45-game winning streak, Jay, that was snapped by Cardinal Gibbons, ironically, in the first game of 2019. There's been no better program in the state, big school, than Wake Forest, but the defense is not what it has been in the past.
Well, that defense has been led by Dexter Lawrence in the past. And you've got NFL guys, college prospects that have been on these past defenses and really good players, but this year, you know, the big play has been the issue in the secondary, giving up those explosive passing plays. It's going to be so important for the front 7, especially when they bring the blitz, to get home and get to the quarterback. They do not want to leave the secondary out on an island.
First down, Wildcats from the 23-yard line, and they go on the ground this time for 2, maybe 3. Now let's put it in perspective here. Wake Forest defense over the course of this year is surrendering about 14 a game. That's a really good number. But you look back at their 3 consecutive state championships in 16, 17, and 18. They shut out Page 29-0. They shut out Mallard Creek 21-0, and they beat Vance 9-7. 3 state championship games, the best of the best. They gave up 7 points total in 3 years. Looked like a couple of Wildcats might have been in motion at the same time. I don't see a flag yet as Lentz is buried for a loss. But you have to think the reason behind that timeout gave Reggie Lucas a chance to bring his defense over and say, guys, we've now given up 2 monster plays in this opening quarter. We're not going to win a game if that continues. Third down now for Millbrook. 10 to go. Inside 2 minutes for this opening quarter. Well, the defense and the defensive unit for this Cougar program is held to an extremely high bar. It's been tested this year. Hard count, and it forces a Cougar to jump. And it looked like that was Chris Allen who bid hard on Spainauer on 3rd and 10. And there are some pleas here by the Millbrook Wildcats. This may go against Millbrook, perhaps, the way that they are reacting. And it's going to be the legal procedure against Millbrook. Jay, what did you see?
Well, we'll see. Unless they're talking up top with the wide receivers moving. I didn't see movement up front. Clarence Inscore was halfway out on the field wanting an explanation.
He is hot. So instead of 3rd and 5, it is now 3rd and 15. Clock runs as we nose down toward 1 minute left in this opening quarter. Spainauer out of the gun. 4 receivers across the formation. He'll look up the right side, throw a dart toward the back pylon. Incomplete, looking for Leacock. And it is 4th down. And now a decision here for Millbrook's Clarence Inscore. Talk about special teams from here. You're talking about a 45-yard field goal attempt with a crosswind. But it looks like he is going to send Spainauer back on the field and go for it.
This is where you have to look for Grimes. If you're the secondary for Wake Forest, you've got to bring the safety over the top and really shade to his side. And again, we saw in a 4th and long situation them play deep. So we'll see if they drop back or if they bring the blitz.
Wildcats need to reach about the 13-yard line. This is 4th down with a touchdown lead. Spainauer locked left, throws now over the middle into double coverage, incomplete. He wanted Lentz, no flags. And the Wildcats were turn it over on downs.
Well, Ivan Brazzo, the defensive coordinator for Wake Forest, only brought 3. Good play called by him, dropping everybody. Isaiah Pipkin, number 11, dropped back as well. So the best pass rusher even helped out, really clogging up the middle of the field. There was nowhere to go.
Well, that is what the Cougars needed. Millbrook was on the march after another big play, in position to tack on at least a field goal to the lead, and the Cougar defense holds. Minute left, opening quarter. Hillman in the Cougar offense back on the field. Tosses one downfield. It is grabbed outside the 45-yard line. And that's Wake Forest with David Sanchez on the reception. Big play, kind of dragging the tight end across the field. Another big offensive wrinkle we're not accustomed to seeing.
Yeah, as a corner route, and Sanchez, the defender, draped all over him with the focus to bring the ball in. Again, though, the misdirection, slowing down that defensive line and giving Hillman time to throw was huge.
Good for another NC 529 first down. Never too early or too late to start saving for education. First down, Cougars. Inside handoff and slipping a bit this deep as Swally as he tried to plant that foot and cut back. Lost his balance and lost about a yard.
Now we're starting to see Wake Forest use these misdirection plays, especially on early downs. You see just the slip right there. This offense throwing the ball more often, misdirection again to try to slow down this front seven that's been very aggressive thus far.
And Jay, what have we seen so far from the Cougar offense? More than half of their offensive play has been through the air. And that will wind out the opening quarter. So, as we mentioned, a lot of familiarity with these programs. And we're done with the opening quarter. A first play strike for Millbrook. It's a touchdown lead after one for the Wildcats. A 67-yard touchdown reception by Wesley Grimes from Spainhauer on the game's very first play. And now we begin the second quarter. Millbrook 7, Wake Forest nothing. Glad to have you with us. Opening round, 4AA North Carolina High School Athletic Association playoffs. Wake Forest in the white uniforms, 2nd and 11. Little reversal here. Again, they try to get it in the hands of Deepa Swally. And once again, nowhere to go. And the Wildcat defense has been pursuing well. They've handled the corners, not allowed the edges to be free. And Spainhauer has not done a whole lot of damage so far. Had that one long play that was called back by an illegal block in the back.
That was total domination up front. Millbrook just shot the gaps. There was nowhere to go for Wake Forest. Now up front for Wake Forest, you've got to get low and get your leverage, get your hands on these defenders. Because right there, the defense was much more aggressive.
That was another negative rushing play for the Cougars. They lose 6, 3rd and 17. 3 receivers up top. And now Hillman, wraparound handoff to Deepa Swally. Tried to catch the Wildcats by surprise, didn't do it. And that effectively raises the white flag on this possession.
Jaden Felton, number 52, right in the middle of the defense, staying at home, staying disciplined, and didn't bite on Hillman, looking like he was going to throw the ball, saw the ball was handed off, and was there to make the play.
So Howard on to punt it again for Wake Forest. And Lentz is back to return. This will sail gently through the air. Lentz charges and calls for a fair catch and grabs it around the 33. 7-0 lead for Millbrook. And when we talked with Clarence Inscore, even earlier in the year, as bizarre as this year has been, the fact that his team has not had access to a weight room, the conditioning has been very different this year for a lot of teams, especially in Wake County, but a lot of teams around the state. He still felt like if they got through the regular season, if we reached the regular season finale, that his team had the tools offensively, on the defensive side and special teams to really make some noise and perhaps their deepest run ever into the state championship playoffs. And they're up an early touchdown. Penalty markers down. And this is going to go against Wake Forest. One of the things to watch in tonight's game that was really exploited, really in a positive way, out of Millbrook's loss to Gibbons a few weeks ago, there are not a number of bodies available on that offensive line for Millbrook. And he said in that game against Cardinal Gibbons, we just got worn down and really overwhelmed, especially in that second half. We'll see if the O-line holds up. This is tipped. It's in the air dangerously and lands incomplete. A break for Millbrook.
Well, when talking about that offensive line, not only is it up front, but it's the running backs with their pass protection. Look at number 3 on the right side right there. Doing his job, helping out on Allen. Nick Hudson coming through plenty of time, even though this ball was incomplete, almost intercepted. The O-line up front, kind of building a fortress for Spainhour. And that's what Clarence Inscore wants. That's the focus on the offensive side for the offensive line to do a nice job protecting his quarterback.
2nd down and 5. They rush 3. Toss sweep to Nick Hudson. Stood up, stands his ground, and then is finally stopped around the 40. So to the wide side of the field. That's been really the danger for opponents of Millbrook, is getting a lot of their quick running backs in open space. And that's one of the things that Reggie Lucas brought to our attention yesterday, saying they needed to be able to contain the backs of Donaldson and of Hudson and of others. Did a nice job there.
Yeah, those one-on-one tackling situations, and then also the defensive end holding, contain, and forcing those guys back into the middle of the field.
This is 3rd down and 3 for Millbrook from the 40. A touchdown lead for the Wildcats. Showing blitz the Cougars, and here they come. Not much time to throw, but a dart over the middle, grabbed by Caleb Stevens, and Stevens has a 1st down out near midfield. Tremendous recognition by Spainhour, and it looked like the Cougars brought 7 right in his face, and he found the hot receiver, Jay.
Yeah, and as a quarterback, you've got to know where your hot read is, and there they brought 1 extra defender than you can block. He knew he was going to get hit. He stood in there tough and then found Stevens on the slant route. Nice communication as well, looking pre-snap and then finding your wide receiver.
And that's good for a 1st down for Millbrook. Brought to you by NCDHHS. You have a spot, take your shot. 1st down Millbrook. Spainhour on the keeper and shoved out of bounds around the 45-yard line by Deshaun Grant. Continuing to mix it up. It's not Grimes, it's not Leacock, it's not on the ground, it's everybody performing so far.
Look at the misdirection. You have the fake jet sweep, and then Spainhour doing the zone read and then keeping the ball. Good recognition of seeing that defensive end collapse down and then bringing it over the top to pick up positive yards.
Gain of 9 7/8, about as much as Spainhour could get without picking up a 1st down. So 2nd and short. The fake to Donaldson, little toss, and that is right off of the top of the grass, looking for Grimes. Low throw behind Grimes. 3rd down.
Interesting there, because on the previous play, it looked like he wanted to throw it to Grimes. He held it, and then he did it on the ground. They went back to it as Grimes kind of floated down the field. He was seeing if that secondary would come up and bite up on the run support of Spainhour. They tried to hit him, but it was there even more so on the previous play.
Right, 4 receivers across the formation. 3 to the top of the screen. 3rd and very short. This is Donaldson. 1st down here and swings out to the hashes, and Donaldson out inside the 35 of Wake Forest.
And Donaldson was a guard out on the basketball court, had a huge part in the state championship win, came back out here on the football team and has just gotten better every single week as he's gotten into football shape. They're just reading the blocks up front on the left side of the offensive line and following them to get the 1st.
NCDHHS 1st down. You have a spot, take your shots. Wildcats on the charge again. 1st down from the Wake Forest 35-yard line. Spainhour, 3-man rush, little pressure, now little comes, and a tackle on the backfield, sacked by Jeremiah Bethel, the sophomore defensive end, who got around his block on that left tackle area, and then it simply outran Spainhour for the ankle sack.
On that 3-4 defense, the defensive end is so important, not only in run support, but he's going to face some double teams, and Bethel, the young sophomore, using his power to get to the backfield.
That is a loss of 9 delivered by Bethel, number 48. And if you can get that kind of pressure again, that's the offensive line. That's something we will follow in the second half of this one. Can they hold up? 3-man rush again for the Cougars. They sense a screen, and they do hit Donaldson with it. Can he make a man miss? Tries to get out of an ankle tackle, and Donaldson inside the 35, holding on. Max Hines for dear life, just slowing Donaldson down.
Well, this was outstanding by Hines. We'll see number 5 here as this screen is thrown. Look at Hines flash here, sprinting over full speed, but then breaking down and doing just enough to hold on to the ankles of Donaldson.
Well, Chris Allen, number 94, the defensive end for Wake Forest, he sniffed that play out. He kind of backpedaled. He jumped and almost tipped away that pass, but it just cleared him. 3rd and 10 for the Wildcats. Spainhauer, time to throw. Steps into it, into coverage, tip, and then caught by the Wildcats on the sideline. Nearly intercepted, but it was Grimes who relocated the football and brought it in. And it's a first down for Millbrook.
Wake Forest was great in coverage here. We'll see the throw. Not much of a window. And then Grimes, just with his frame, goes up, tips it up, and then just falls into his lap as Hines was coming over. And they were able to pick it up.
That was Vance Day on the coverage for Wake Forest, and that is a disheartening completion to allow for Wake Forest. 7-0 lead for Millbrook, and they're on the move. Lentz in motion. Spainhauer again gets it to Grimes quickly. A couple of wide receivers blocking out there for him, and Grimes down to about the 20.
A good team defense there. The secondary seeing the ball quickly going out to the perimeter. There was no hesitation at all. 4 Cougars coming over to make the tackle.
And there are not enough platitudes that Clarence Inscore, the head coach of Millbrook, has for Grimes. This is a kid who's grown a lot, matured a lot over the last 18 months, and he still has a long way to go in terms of reaching kind of the peak of his football ability. Keep by Spainhauer, races to the short side, lowers the boom, and takes it out of bounds. Deliberately, helmet to shoulder hit to just discard Vance Day. Not a big gain, but a loud yard there announced by Spainhauer.
No, Spainhauer's a senior. He does not want this to be his last ball game, and he's playing like it. Look at that intensity and the power, and then the look back to let him know, hey, this is my home turf.
This has been a tough drive for Vance Day. Couldn't deflect the pass away for Grimes a couple of plays ago and absorbs that hit. This is 3rd down and 6. Spainhauer looking left, scrambling right. Short pass is caught at the 13-yard line by Caleb Stevens, and he's going to be a little bit short of the first down here. And you can see Stevens disappointed with not getting beyond the sticks there. And it is going to be 4th down, and we'll see what the Wildcats elect to do. And it looks like Clarence Inscore is going to send the field goal unit on. So it's Hutch Kreutz, the senior place kicker, out of the hold of the quarterback Spainhauer. Off of the right hash, 30-yard attempt on the way with the distance, and it is good. So Hutch Kreutz gives Millbrook a 10-0 lead with 5:08 left in the first half. 30 yards good from Kreutz. It's 10-0 Millbrook. The lead is now 10-0 for the Millbrook Wildcats over Wake Forest. 5:08 remaining in the first half. 30-yard field goal by Kreutz. And Wake Forest will get the football here. 10 points down. They will get the football out of halftime, Jay, but offensively, they've only been in Millbrook territory once, missed a field goal. They need some feel-good offensive moves here on this drive.
They've got to get a drive going. We've seen some passing plays, some misdirection, things working. They just haven't had that consistency. And for Millbrook right now, they've got all the momentum. Everything's been clicking, and this defense, especially up front, has been making enough plays to slow down the offense.
Now ready for the West Shore home kickoff. Convert your old bathtub into modern and spacious walk-in shower in just one day. This is Stansel across the field, left to right on the return, and he's tackled forward at around the 28-yard line. Well, this Wake Forest squad has never been built to score a lot of points, and that's really been evidence over the course of this year. They had a couple of shutout wins, 14-0 over Nightdale, 10-0 over Corinth Holders. They did score a season-high 48 in that Friday/Saturday win over Heritage last week. But this is not a squad that regularly, Jay, puts up, 28 to 35 points a game. So 10 points down is kind of a threshold moment for them.
Yeah, and we see another first down where they're throwing the ball.
This is DePasquale with room. And Lentz gently ushers him out of bounds, close to midfield. That'll be good for about 17 yards.
So in Wake Forest, like you were saying, Patrick, is at their best when they're running the ball, mixing in the pass. And now you've got a deficit. You can still run your offense, but I do think they need to open things up. And last week, 0 points in the first quarter against Heritage. And then in the second quarter and throughout, the offense really got clicking. So this offense has confidence that they can get it going. They just have to protect number one up front and win the line of scrimmage.
In motion, DePasquale. Hillman throwing over the middle and overshoots his man Trey Stansel. And a reminder, stay tuned for the North Carolina Assist Loan Halftime Report. We'll have this week's Riddle and Brentley Scholar Athletes, game highlights, and more. Again, that's the NC Assist Loan Halftime Report coming up. 10-0 lead for Millbrook. 4:52 remaining second quarter. Well, we asked both of the coaches about what they thought of the brackets when they came out on Sunday, Jay. Clarence Inscore of Millbrook and Reggie Lucas of Wake Forest. And they both had pretty similar responses. Inside handoff, and again, DePasquale stood up around the 48-yard line. Might have got a yard and a half there, brings up 3rd and long. But when you finish second, and you're battling to finish second, you're simply just happy to enter the playoffs. And then they knew that the draws are going to be very, very stiff because there are less teams in each of the brackets.
Yeah, they said this game is really like a third-round playoff game in normal years, and they know how talented each side is in this game, and they really figured it was going to be a close ball game.
DePasquale goes in motion, play action, stepping into it. Hillman, deep ball, wanting Spencer, and it does not quite get through. Caleb Stevens breaking it up for Millbrook into double coverage, but almost squeezed it through for Tristan Spencer.
Well, and Hillman took a shot, very tough there. That was Rutledge that barreled down on him. We'll see Rutledge coming through there, beating the block inside, hit him. And then Spencer here almost was able to bring it down with one hand. Good coverage by the Wildcats.
So Wake Forest will punt it away. Now, one thing that Reggie Lucas did said, we like to fake punts out near midfield. They will boot it away here down 10. And it takes a Wake Forest bounce and grabbed on the run by Lentz. And then a hemmed in around the 35 out to the 37-yard line. A little bit of a dangerous play there by Lentz. But it will be Millbrook football, 3 timeouts and 3:54 to go. When we return, Millbrook in the opening round of the 4AA playoffs, leading Wake Forest 10-0. 10-0 lead for Millbrook over Wake Forest. Jay Sonhalter, Patrick Keenis levitating above the press box here at Millbrook High School. In the infamous words of Leslie Nielsen from Airplane, I picked the wrong week to weigh 145 pounds. We're on top of the press box with a stiff breeze behind me. This is workman's comp all over it. Millbrook takes over after the Wake Forest punts, leading by 10. Spainhauer will go deep down the seam. Has Lentz. Couple of steps from the defender. Makes the catch. Full race to the end zone. Lentz is in. Touchdown, Millbrook. 62 yards and a 16-0 Millbrook lead.
Love the play design coming out of a timeout break. Clarence Inscore drew it up. Look at Spainhauer. He looked over after the ball fake towards the right side and then shot his eyes back to the middle and found Lentz through a perfect ball. But it was all the use of the eyes of Spainhauer, scanning the field, manipulating the defense, and then finding Lentz streaking down the middle.
Extra point, good. That is the second time today we have seen Millbrook drill Wake Forest with a 62-yard touchdown reception. Grimes on the game's opening play. Lentz here from Spainhauer on the first play after a punt. And it is now 17-0 Millbrook.
Millbrook really attacking the secondary, going vertical over the top, stressing the defense, and it starts up front. The offensive line is giving Spainhour enough time to throw, and you see the senior there. Physical run on the previous possession, the arm strength, but the accuracy as well. Plenty of time to throw. Again, right down the middle of the field. With his eyes after that ball fake, the secondary creeped up, and that's what allowed Lentz to go over the top.
Thirteenth touchdown pass of the season for Spainhour. Senior quarterback for Millbrook. And remember, Spainhour's dad graduated high school from Wake Forest. He's a big fan of both programs, but we know what team he's rooting for tonight and what son he is rooting for tonight. And now, how important is this next drive for Wake Forest? Ready for another West Shore home kickoff? Convert your old bathtub into a modern and spacious walk-in shower in just one day. If you are the Cougars, you cannot go in down 17 points. They have 2 timeouts and 3:45 to go. This is a line drive kick that will check out for Spencer. Through the middle across to 20. Had space, and that might have been a touchdown saving tackle by Millbrook's Cooper Rutledge just as Spencer was throttling up to 5th gear.
Well, Millbrook playing starters on special teams. And that was Rutledge. We've seen him making plays all over the field on defense, then on special teams. As the other guys kind of got blocked down there, he broke through and clogged up the middle of the field.
Well, the good news for Wake Forest offense is that the change up in terms of offensive philosophy is going more through the air in the first quarter plus of this contest. Did catch Millbrook off guard. The bad news is they didn't lead to any points, and now it looks like they're now reverting, kind of regressing back to the mean, which is what they do well on the ground. Big gain there for DiPasquale on first down.
You just said they have to have points, Patrick. You mentioned that, and it's the points they need, but also the momentum to go into the halftime break with something good happening. They're going to make some adjustments at that break, but they've got to make sure they execute on this drive and stay ahead of the chains.
First down, Wake Forest at the Cougars' 48-yard line. Handoff to the fullback, Chris Moore. And again, there's been nothing from the fullback portion of this wing season so far.
Up the middle, Millbrook just plugging up the A gaps. There's nowhere to run. They're winning their blocks. And when you watch the line of scrimmage and see which side is getting the push, Millbrook on that last play had the leverage.
DiPasquale finds a crease, cuts back to the middle of the field, and sprints forward inside the 35. Undercut by Jalen Donaldson. And DiPasquale, 2 large runs on this drive for Wake Forest.
And Hansel Phipps, the offensive coordinator, is going back here with a quick hitter. You see misdirections, the guard pulling over there to set up the block, kicking out his man, and then clearing the path.
22 for DiPasquale, another NCDHHS first down. Do you have a spot? Take your shot. First down from the 30, and a whistle blown. 2:24 remaining in this first half, and this will go against the Cougars. 17-0 Millbrook. They have a hit Wake Forest with 10 points in about a 90-second span. The Crute field goal, and then the long bomb from Spainhour to Lentz. And an alarming moment here for the Cougars. 1st and 15. Hillman to the flat. Spencer. And Lentz, who just caught that touchdown pass, playing both sides of the football, takes him out of bounds.
It's a quick hitch. That's what you want to do on first down. Just pick up positive yards. And Hillman got rid of the ball before the pass rush could get into the backfield. When the secondary is playing back, you've got those underneath routes wide open. Go ahead and take them.
Well, good pickup there after the penalty. Gain of 10, so 2nd and 5 for the Cougars with exactly 2 minutes to play. Handoff Stansel. Cuts it back, room up the middle, makes a great cutback move. He's inside the 10, barreling for the end zone. Touchdown, Wake Forest. Trey Stansel, a determined run. And Wake Forest unearths the points they so desperately needed late in this first half.
This offense can be explosive on the ground. And Stancil there looked like Reggie Bush back when he was at USC, running through the couple cuts, coming back towards the right side. And his team needed that lift.
Extra point is sailed to the uprights and good. So Stancil, the 25-yard touchdown run, his third of the season. But it is one that keeps the heartbeat pumping here for Wake Forest late in this first half of this first-round playoff game.
Well, there's the misdirection, and then look at the cuts here. Boom, boom, going back towards the right, and then the power to finish off the run as he's dragging in the secondary of Millbrook. And again, I mean, this offense, the back's against the walls, and they had to come up with the play. And now the only problem is they probably scored too quickly.
Well, I think Reggie Lucas will gamble with his defense here. Yes, he's given up 2 enormous plays here in this first half, but they were in desperate need of points. And that at least has to give confidence back to the offense, really the entire unit. This is such a proud, storied program, Wake Forest. They're going down maybe in a halftime 17-0 down. It would have been a shocking score. But they're right back in it. And the Cougars will lean on that vaunted defense to try and keep Millbrook off the scoreboard before halftime. Again, Wake Forest will get the football to begin the third quarter. Deep kick. And Leacock lets that one sail through the end zone for a touchback. (17-7) lead for Millbrook. And there is Clarence Inscore, who has dialed up a wonderful offensive game plan for that young man so far. Ford Spainhour, tremendous leader, who finally became all the way healthy about in week 3 or 4 of this regular season. And Millbrook, they're not going to take a knee here, not with a minute 51 to go and 2 timeouts. Or 3 timeouts. They throw to the sideline. Leacock. And Leacock gets beyond the 25 before he's brought down by Deshaun Grants. That's good for 6. Now, Jay, has there been a common denominator to the Cougars' defensive secondary for the 2 big plays that they have allowed?
They brought the blitz on both of those plays, and that's what enabled Millbrook to win in one-on-one situations. When Wake Forest has dropped back and only rushed 3, it's really helped out the secondaries with the linebackers coming up in coverage and having 7 guys deep.
Well, they're blitzing one here. It's picked up short over the middle. Donaldson the catch at the 35. Amid some resistance and still on his feet, and then is strung down and ripped down from the back of his jersey by Wake Forest's Cody Britt. It is enough for a first down. Clock stops with 1:01.
Oh, and now we're going to see Millbrook play with some more urgency. Donaldson just kind of floating out of the backfield, sneaking through there, and getting yards after the catch. And now you've got more of a cushion if you're Millbrook. A little bit over a minute left, still those 2 timeouts. I think we're going to see some up-tempo play here by the Wildcats.
And the first of those 3 timeouts taken by Coach Clarence Inscore of Millbrook, 17-7. So 1:01 left. 2 timeouts and a 10-point lead. And what's happening right here in this pretty animated huddle discussion for Wake Forest?
Well, I think the message down there is, hey, when we bring the blitz, we've got to get home. We've got to get pressure on Spainhour. And then in the secondary, do not give up the big play. We can live if it's in front of us, but if we get beat deep, it's going to be a touchdown. So secondary, stay back, let things unfold in front of you, make the play. Defensive line, get to the quarterback.
The NC Assist Loan halftime report is on the way. Coming up, we'll have this week's Riddle and Brentley Scholar Athletes game highlights and more. This is a first down play for Millbrook with a 10-point lead from their own 39-yard line. 4-man rush. It's picked up. Spainhour dancing. Spainhour hits, and down he goes in the backfield. And again, it is the sophomore Jeremiah Bethel, his 2nd sack of this first half.
This is unbelievable. Look at 94 in the middle. Chris Allen, 4 Wildcats coming over to block him. That's what allowed Bethel in a one-on-one situation to make the sack. But again, the star junior was clogging things up in the middle, getting so much focus on him and that's what allowed Bethel to go to work on the outside.
Millbrook calls another timeout with 54 seconds left. Yeah, if I'm Bethel, I'm following Chris Allen wherever he goes to college. I want to play alongside him because if he draws
That's
3 or 4 defenders, it's 1v1. I can get in the backfield.
It was unbelievable. Half of the offense was blocking Chris Allen.
And that's the reason we really haven't called Allen's name all that much here in this first half. He's commanding so much attention.
Well, in an adjustment Wake Forest made is we saw Allen play on the outside. Now he's lined up right on the center. So he's playing in the middle of the 3-4. So he's bringing attention from the center and both guards.
All right, this is 2nd down and 10. Spainhour, another screen, and it gets through. Donaldson, room up the right side, over the 50, weaving past a couple of defenders and tackled near the sideline around the 37. That will at least stop the clock as they move the chains, and Donaldson might have gotten out of bounds on his own.
Well, and it's a game of adjustments. Clarence Inscore sees pressure getting to Spainhour, called the screen play. You see those guys come back there, dump the ball up over the top, and get positive yards. And Donaldson's so dangerous in the open field.
Down to the 37, the clock is running. 35 seconds left, and there's a hot potato spike of the football by Spainhour. Just wanted to make sure his offensive line was set. And Millbrook wanted to hold on, Jay, to that final timeout.
Smart play. You've got to have that timeout for a field goal opportunity. And now you can kind of readjust things, take your time. Spainhour came over to the sideline to talk to Clarence Inscore. We'll see, it looks like there may be a stoppage here. Chris Allen looked like he was going to run off over to the sideline, now coming back.
Well, how important is this upcoming sequence? Millbrook trying to go up by 13, maybe 17 points again. Wake Forest trying to deny points and stay in this game. Rushing 4, picked up by the line. Spainhour off his back foot, connects down to the 20-yard line with Caleb Stevens. And Stevens down to about the 11. Well inside Hutch Cruz's field goal range. Another first down. Stops the clock with 28 seconds, and Millbrook will take its final timeout right here.
Well, this is just amazing execution by Millbrook up front. You got 4 guys coming. Spainhour moves over towards the right. 7 guys in coverage. Isaiah Pipkin, one of the best pass rushers in the state, is dropping back in coverage. And that's what Wake Forest is having to do now, giving up those big plays. Instead of rushing Pipkin, they've got to drop him back in coverage. So that's a huge advantage for Millbrook because you do not have to face him coming off the edge. You'd much rather have him going backwards, and then Spainhour was able to kind of navigate the coverage and find the open man.
All right, well, now all of a sudden with Millbrook at the 11-yard line, you begin to adjust your expectations if you're Wake Forest. Now suddenly Millbrook is in the red zone. Now the goal, keep them out of the end zone. They don't have any timeouts left, so it really has to be a pass into the end zone or toward the sidelines here, Jay, if you're Millbrook. But if Wake Forest can hold them to a field goal, it still is a 2-possession game.
Well, Reggie Lucas saying, guys, get a sack. You can get a sack, force Millbrook to potentially have a tougher field goal, or maybe the clock even runs out. That's the goal here. And for Millbrook, Clarence Inscore is telling Spainhour, at all costs, no sacks.
All right.
Throw the ball away, get a touchdown, but you cannot take a sack.
Haven't seen the name Wesley Grimes in a long time. He's at the top of the screen, man-to-man. Spainhour not looking his way. Now he does. Grimes signals for the football. Spainhour with it, has to run forward, trying to get out of bounds, and he will with 20 seconds left. Spainhour dancing down to around the 6 or the 5.
Well, that was an amazing effort because if he gets tackled in bounds, it's going to be a sprint to get off the field goal. So that extra effort was huge.
Yeah, that field goal unit is ready to rush on the field if necessary here. Ball at the 6. 2nd down. And they can get a first down without scoring. They need to get to about the 2. 20 seconds left. Clock stopped. Grimes again to the left. 3 receivers to the right. Empty backfield. Spainhour, quick pass, slant, and it's incomplete. Looking for Lentz. He and Stevens were kind of crisscrossing around the 5-yard line, and that was thrown behind Lentz, and it's 3rd down.
Well, it's still dangerous there because if you complete that and it's not a touchdown, you're going to have to sprint up there to get off the field goal. And I know, at that point, 17 seconds left, But still, that's going to be a tight field goal opportunity. So Millbrook here, I think you've got to get the ball in the end zone. Otherwise, there's even less time here to get off a field goal.
17 seconds left. Third down. And Millbrook out of timeouts here. They deploy Donaldson in the backfield to the right of Spainhour. Rush coming, a jump pass to the end zone, broken up and intercepted in the end zone by Wake Forest. What a read in the defensive backfield, and Nigel Lucas, the son of the head coach Reggie, located the ball spinning through the air and picked it off, and Millbrook denied any points.
Well, look at this awareness by Lucas in the perfect spot, and then Fuller Howard clicked that ball up in the air, just knocked it up, and then Lucas recognized. But what a huge stand for the Cougars getting off the field. Again, you get that touchdown, then Millbrook's making a huge drive to regain momentum, and then your sophomore safety, Nigel Lucas, such a good football player, comes away with a play from Howard's tip.
Second interception of the year, taking a knee, will be Chad Hillman, and that will draw us to halftime. And should Wake Forest come back to win this football game and advance, that is the play that will springboard the Cougars. But as it stands, teams head toward the locker rooms. We are at halftime of the first round 4AA playoff game. Millbrook leading Wake Forest 17-7. And welcome to the NC Assist Loan halftime report with Millbrook leading Wake Forest 17-7. And now time for the Riddle and Brantley Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Riddle and Brantley is proud to present the Friday Night Rivals Riddle and Brantley Scholar Athlete of the Week. From Wake Forest High School, the Riddle and Brantley Scholar Athlete of the Week is Chris Moore. Chris Moore is an all-conference football performer, a state champion, an honor roll student, and carries a 3.5 GPA. Chris is active in church activities and participates in Wake Forest Town Council. From Millbrook High School, the Riddle and Brantley Scholar Athlete of the Week is William Edmondson. William is a four-year football and lacrosse player, received the Millbrook Football Team Before Self Award, and carries a 4.48 GPA. William is the Vice President of DECA, is on Student Council, National Honor Society, the Millbrook Executive Board, and volunteers through the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. After graduating, William will embark on a 9-month mission to Guatemala, Cambodia, and Eswatini.
Riddle and Brantley is proud to be a sponsor of the Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Congratulations to these All-Stars, and good luck on your eligibility for a $3,000 scholarship at the end of the season.
Riddle and Brantley. Injured in an accident? Call Riddle and Brantley when justice counts.
Share with you the recipient of the High School Hoops Scholar Athlete Scholarship that was awarded just last week.
This season's High School Hoops Riddle and Brantley Scholar Athlete of the Year is Heritage High School senior Simone Mahoney. Simone received a $3,000 scholarship courtesy of Riddle and Brantley. Simone is a basketball all-conference, student government senior class communications officer, and is an AP Scholar with distinction. As a Leukemia and Lymphoma Society Student of the Year co-candidate, Simone helped raise over $8,000 for those battling blood cancer. Congratulations, Simone, on a job well done.
Halftime score, Millbrook up on Wake Forest 17-7. We'll have more of the NC Assist Loan halftime reports coming up. And we are back with the NC Assist halftime report. 17-7 is the lead for Millbrook over Wake Forest. And now we'll have an interview with one of our sponsors, Paul Janowski with West Shore Home.
Hi, Paul. Thanks for joining us today. What are the benefits of converting your old tub into one of these new accessible showers?
Well, what we're seeing a lot of right now are the high step-over tubs that need replaced for safety reasons. These high step-over tubs are creating conditions where people can easily slip and fall. We're trying to create a more safer experience. We do thousands of these every year, and our goal is not to only give homeowners a shower that they love, but to make sure it's safe for them and their families.
What are the benefits of having a step-in shower?
Removing that tub, it does allow us to put in something low and easy to walk right into. Most shower bases have about a 4 to 5 inch step up. These only have a couple inches high, and it still keeps the water away from your floors and provides a major safety feature for your new shower.
And what are some of those other safety features that you can provide homeowners?
Yes, something our customers really love are the extremely durable grab bars. So walking in and out of your shower can be extremely beneficial to have something to grab onto. Think of a fall in the shower could cause a bruised hip, broken bones, or worse. So these grab bars are a simple add-on and super easy to use, and they'll be there for the lifetime of your shower.
What's the first step for a customer to get started?
Well, the good news is we make the whole process super easy. All they have to do is give us a call, and one of our design consultants can be out to their home in as little as 24 hours, and they'll start the whole process. We'll use our exclusive app on our iPad so they can see their shower right there in their home. And after they've designed the shower of their dreams, we'll go over all our financing options and make it super easy to fit into any family's budget.
What does the installation process look like?
Super easy. Our shower and bath installers are specialists in the wet areas of your home. These craftsmen are highly trained West Shore Home employees, not subcontractors. And because of this dedication, most of our installations are completed in just 1 day, so you won't be living in a mess for weeks.
All right, Paul, I know you have some specials running. Can you please tell everyone what you're offering?
Every month we have a sale, but for anyone watching right now, if they call right now, we'll give them an additional $500 off their current sale price.
Paul, we certainly appreciate your time and thank you for your support of high school sports.
All right, thank you, Paul. Thank you, Jay. We'll have more of the NC Assist Loan halftime show when we come back. Millbrook up 10 at the break. (17-7) lead, Millbrook over Wake Forest. Back to the NC Assist Loan halftime report. And let's take a look at some highlights from this season gone by. This is second down. Play fake. A fake to the sideline and a keeper. Room for Brown up the middle to the 30. Foot race toward the end zone. Brown will take it home. It's a third down. Brown improvising. Escapes the pressure. Now will heave it toward the front pylon. Into the end zone. Caught by the Rams. It's Ethan Harris for the score. Running left with some space. Kicking it the outside. Beastick toward the sideline. Into the end zone. Touchdown.
Watch his block. Boom. Pancake. And that cleared the path for Beastick. That running back tandem working in unison.
Castle will get it off, wants to throw, slips a bit, releases, and this is intercepted by Garner on the final play of the third quarter.
That time he put touch on it. Oh, caught at the 10. He gets free into the end zone. Touchdown, Rakia.
You're over on the sideline. You don't have that consistency.
Oh, another interception picked off. Is it going to be returned? It is a pick six. Locklear, the junior, turning up. Locklear to the 10, cuts it inside to the 5. Runs over a man, lunges in. Now they say it's a touchdown. Wow!
And more of the NC's reports on the way.
Dirty Dancing.
I'm going to set the opening bid. Party! Confetti!
Store Bullseye.
Target! This is a show where every word counts.
Oh, really?
Yeah!
Wild Dog.
Wolf!
Weeknights at 11 on MyRDC 28.
This spring, your favorite teams return, and Fox Sports Carolinas and Southeast will become Bally Sports.
Hey!
The Hornets, the Canes, the Braves.
To the season, time to push it to the utmost.
All on bold new networks.
Hey! This is the moment.
Valley Sports South and Valley Sports Southeast, coming March 31st.
Weekend starting September 26th. To get the true word on the street, you've got to speak the language.
It's time to put the culture back in pop culture.
Central Ave, a modern deep dive into entertainment that drives to the heart of the story. Fresh takes and authentic voices, bringing you the right show for right now.
Welcome to Central Ave.
Sundays at 6 on MyRDC.
Whatever the crime.
You never come to work thinking you're going to see something like that.
Whatever the motive.
If he couldn't have her, no one was going to have her.
Whatever it takes, answers to mysteries will be revealed.
The question is, who's going to benefit by these two deaths?
I remember falling to the floor. He was finally caught.
On Dateline.
Weekdays at 11 on MyRDC 28.
17-7 lead, Millbrook on Wake Forest. And Jay, in this first half, we have seen some electric plays. We'll take a look at the first half highlights.
Big plays over the top. Both quarterbacks have been taking their shots. Fort Spainhour started it off over the top with Wesley Grimes' first play of the ball game, and they were attacking the secondary.
That was on the very first play. So 14 seconds in, Millbrook took a 7-0 lead. Then Crute, midway through the second quarter, connects from 30, and the lead grew to 10. And they weren't done with the big plays.
Millbrook, they've been sitting in the driver's seat for the majority of the ball game. This was an excellent play call, bringing the safeties up and then hitting Lentz over the middle of the field for an easy touchdown. And Wake Forest, though, continue to show some fight, and they're explosive on the ground. And you see Stancil here making things happen with his legs, and then the power at the end to get into the end zone for the first touchdowns for Wake Forest.
Stancil from 25, and that gave Millbrook with 3 timeouts a chance to get down the field and pick up some points. And they did well on the first part, getting down the field. And with the clock ticking down after a long pass play connected there with Caleb Stevens, brought them down to the 11-yard line. This is one of the final plays of this first half. It was tipped in the air and then caught by the coach's son, Lucas, the interception, denying Millbrook. So 17-7 to the break. First half stats, what sticks out?
The passing yards for Millbrook has been astonishing. I mean, just their ability to find one-on-one matchups, and that's been the difference. You look at turnovers, only 1 for Millbrook. Penalties, pretty even. Here in the second half, it's just going to come down to, can Millbrook protect the football, and can they continue to score points, because they've been able to hold back the Cougars.
Wake Forest gets the football when the third quarter begins. Well, Spainhour and Millbrook advance. Third quarter of the opening round of the 4AA playoffs is next. Ready for third quarter action. Millbrook 17, Wake Forest 7. This is the 4-5 matchup in the East region. The winner takes on the winner of Apex Friendship and Pinecrest. Apex Friendship, the #1 East region seed. Then you have Hoggard and Leesville Road, the 3-6 matchup. Rollsville and Holly Springs, the 2-7. And we are ready for the West Shore home kickoff. It is short, and it's grabbed by Wake Forest at the 35-yard line. Vance Day brings it in. And evidently not wanting to trust the kickoff return team against Tristan Spencer, who was the dynamic deep back.
Yeah, they played it safe. And for Wake Forest now, you can get pretty good field position right on the 35 to start off on this drive. I think after that last offensive output, getting the touchdown, this offense is feeling much better, especially up front with those misdirection plays. They're starting to do a good job of getting push up front.
Best starting field position of the night for Wake Forest, trailing by 10. And this is Deepa Swally sweeping around the right side. Not much there, maybe 1. For the Millbrook defense, the front 7 has essentially been inside the running playbook of Wake Forest through the first half of this contest.
The secondary is doing a nice job of pushing the ball back inside. Jalen Donaldson, #2, he held, contain, and force the ball to run back inside where you've got your teammates to help clean things up.
Chad Hillman fakes. Now he will screen it out to the left side. And this is Stancil up the sideline. He will carry it for a first down to about the 47-yard line. Good patience on that play. Stancil came from the other side of the field But the offensive line had held up long enough to set this play up.
Look at this block. We'll see it coming up right here. Boom. You have your teammates helping out. Spencer as well down on the perimeter, clearing a path. That's an easy completion for Hillman, just dumping the ball off out to the outside.
NC 529 first down. Never too early or too late to start saving for education. First down for the Cougars. Handoff, and again, we've seen that replayed 3 or 4 times in this game. Eric Galloway that time blowing up the play up the middle. There has been nothing between the tackles for Chris Moore and the Cougars.
And inside this defensive line, it's so important to stay at home. And Galloway didn't bite on the fake, the misdirection. He came up, shot through the gap, and then just kept an even level base, found the ball, and then attacked. That's outstanding technique by the senior up front.
And Jay, I've lost count, but I believe that's the 5th or 6th tackle for a loss on a Cougar running play. Pressure from the backside, somehow dodged by Hillman, throws into single coverage, and connects to the 25-yard line. And a huge play for Wake Forest. David Sanchez with his second reception, second surprising reception of this game for Wake Forest. Big play, first down.
Same route. It's a corner route. And Sanchez, again, look at him high pointing this football. I mean, he got bumped before that ball was even there. The focus to bring it in, and he has been outstanding with his route running, just getting enough space and using his side to box out the defenders.
DePasquale tries to hop over a would-be tackler and hung up in midair and maybe got a yard, could not get over Cooper Rutledge. But back to that pass Hillman made, he had no room even to fully load or land as he delivered the pass because he was hemmed in on both sides by charging the Wildcats.
And you could see the arm strength because he kind of had to hop up in the pocket and didn't have a base underneath him. And, you know, we've seen that corner route work twice for this offense. I'd expect to see it. I mean, if I'm on the offensive staff for Wake Forest, I'd try it here and go back to your tight end. But that's a play I would continue to feed Sanchez and try to highlight him.
2nd and 10. Quick pass. Caught and an immediate hit. And down goes Tavion Williams, who made the reception. And that was a rude welcome by Ethan Lentz.
And Lentz scored a touchdown earlier, playing both ways. A physical defender in the secondary. It's not a big deal. If you give up a passing play in front, your job as a defender is come up. Do not allow the guy to make a missed tackle happen. Go up, wrap him up, bring him down, and live to fight another down.
Right, need to reach the 8-yard line. 3rd and 7 for the Cougars, down by 10. Inside handoff, DePasquale with room to the outside, cuts it back, down is 1, lunges inside the 5. He's to the 3, and that's a first down for the Cougars. Now they are beginning to showcase the personality that is Wake Forest football.
And look at this cut. He is so tough to bring down. The misdirection, the counter play, then the head fake to the outside. You break one defender's ankles, come back inside, and 2 other guys have to come over. This offense now, they've mixed in some passing plays, but they're doing it on the ground. The offensive line is starting to gain confidence up front.
Goal to go for the Cougars. Grant behind the quarterback. He will get the carry straight ahead. Grant toward the goal line, and he is short. Got to about the 2. 2nd and goal.
And Hatley, we'll see number 41 unblocked, and he's who wrapped him up first. Galloway as well jumped in the middle of the defensive line, though, winning on that play.
Yeah, that hole closed up very rapidly. 2nd and goal for Wake Forest, trailing 17-7. Opening drive of this 3rd quarter. 1 receiver in the formation. Handoff right side. Chris Moore takes it in for Wake Forest. The first sliver of room he has seen all game long. Takes it in from 2 yards out. And Wake Forest right back in it, trailing 17-13.
Well, we've seen Moore be the lead fullback, blocking primarily in this ball game, and there no one wanted to get it into his path. The power of Moore trucking into the end zone, and things have changed here very quickly with Wake Forest coming back.
The late touchdown in the 2nd quarter, the interception in the end zone denying Millbrook at the end of the half. And now a 4-minute, 11-second drive punctuated by a touchdown by Chris Moore. 17-14 Millbrook, 7:49 left in the third quarter from Raleigh. "14 unanswered points by Wake Forest has drawn the three-time state champion Cougars to within 3. 7:49 left in the third quarter from Millbrook High School. Patrick Keenis, Jay Sonhalter with you. The approach and the boot by Ethan Howard. Shallow to the left side numbers. A little slip here by Leacock. Now he'll reverse field. Strung out, and look at that swarm of defenders on the kick coverage team by Wake Forest. Leacock ran it about 30 yards horizontally and had no return gain.
And look at the effort from the Cougars. You can just tell there's extra enthusiasm and more hustle. 5 hats coming over for the tackle. And this is a big drive from Millbrook coming in here to regain some of the momentum they lost.
Ford Spainhauer, senior quarterback. Already monster passing numbers in that first half for Millbrook, but right now he takes the field with his team up by only a field goal. Quick pass to the right side. Stevens, not a lot of room to maneuver, and Deshaun Grant tornadoes him down after a pickup of 2.
Well, we've talked about defenders. 3 guys up front, 4 guys coming. The blitz coming as well. Only 3 rushers for the defense on that play. We've seen predominantly Wake Forest at the first couple drives drop guys back. Isaiah Pipkin, number 11, has been dropping in coverage. We'll see if that trend continues.
Grimes to the bottom of the screen. Grant is on him. They look his way. Grimes with a step. The blow by. The over-the-shoulder catch. He looks over one shoulder. Nobody will get him. Grimes takes it in. 83 yards this time by Wesley Grimes. He's had 2 touchdown receptions in this game, covering 150 yards.
Only 3 rushers, and Spainhour plenty of time. But it was one-on-one on the outside. And Grimes, he's got offers from Tennessee, NC State, Carolina, Duke, Virginia, Louisville, Appalachian State, and many more. And you can see why these colleges are after him with that top-end speed and just the ability to make a big play. And he's coming through again for his team.
What a weapon. 24-14 Millbrook. So all of the ground recaptured by Wake Forest vanishes in a flash. And you talk about the momentum that Millbrook was hoping to recapture. They just did in about 6.8 seconds down that right sideline.
Explosive plays can change the tide of a ball game. The Cougars felt like they're in a really good position, and then you make one mistake on the defensive end. You allow Grimes an open shot down the sideline, and Millbrook continues to just grab that momentum right back. And Reggie Lucas talked with us this week. The number 1 goal for the defense was you cannot give up the big play. That's already the 3rd one they've given up tonight.
And again, Deshaun Grant, to the previous play, made a tackle for a loss. Well done. Just a sophomore on an island against one of the top wide receivers in the country, in the Southeast. It's a tough assignment. Didn't see any safety help over the top right there. But another perfectly dropped-in pass by Spainhour.
Well, and a lot of credit to Spainhour to recognizing where you have the mismatch and then attacking it. He's been doing it all night. He's been reading the coverage, but seeing, okay, there's a double team on the left side. I'm not going there. Then he scanned back towards the right side and finding those matchups.
And another West Shore home kickoff. It is another short kick, and it is grabbed right against the sideline by Spencer at the 18-yard line. So Williams was there as well, and now a longer field for the Cougars. Feeling so good about themselves about, 2 minutes ago. And now suddenly that was a standing 8 count shot if you're in a boxing ring.
When you face adversity, you're going to keep getting back up from it. This is a team, multiple state championships, appearances, and rings they've won. You know they're going to continue to fight.
All right, Hillman lost the football, dives on it, and saves the possession for the Cougars. First mishandle we have seen from Wake Forest in this one. It was knocked right out of his hand, I believe, might have been Chris Moore.
And that ball, you've got to protect it. If you're a guy in that huddle, that's the number one thing you've got to focus on, is holding on to the ball. It's funny, over on the sideline, Wesley Grimes was sitting on the bench. As soon as he saw that ball hit the ground, picked up his helmet, sprinted towards the side because he wanted to get back out on the field.
Loss of 3. Deepaswali, now they reverse it. This is Trey Stansel, and again the Millbrook defense reads that like a magazine. Gage Crawford blows up the play.
Well, when Crawford watches film of this play, he's going to get a lot of praise from his coaching staff. Look at number 6 from the safety position, come up and run support, break down, and then stay low, wrap up, and make the tackle.
With the cast on his right forearm, no less, and high stepping into that hole to fill the gap. And there's an injured Wake Forest player down. And we will take this timeout and address the injury when we return. Millbrook up 10 on Wake Forest. 24-14, Millbrook on top of Wake Forest. Trey Stansel was the injured Cougar at the back end of that play. The ball carrier on the reverse as he was plowed down by Gage Crawford. He was down on his back for a few moments, did get help to his feet, and then walked off the field on his own power, and looked to be maybe a right ankle injury, but good sign is it looks like he's trying to convince himself he's ready to get back in the game. Meanwhile, this is now 3rd down and about 21 for Wake Forest. Drop back, Hillman steps into the throw, launches a tight spiral into double coverage, and it is tipped away and knocked incomplete. Looking for Deepaswali out of the backfield. Well thrown ball, but broken up by Millbrook.
Well, you admire the aggressiveness here. Double coverage, and Deepaswali almost brought down a lot of contact.
Pass got through. Got to his right shoulder pad.
And that's a play. God, it was close to being converted. And now Millbrook here, assuming everything goes smooth, you're going to get pretty good field position to start this drive.
Pressure coming, low kick, lands at the 33, and Lentz will one-hand it up and then get roped down. And that'll be a loss of a couple of yards on the return. Mark Sesta was there to cover him up. Another nervy, dangerous punt return approach by Ethan Lentz. So the best starting field position for Millbrook. Now, I was watching Wesley Grimes before the 3rd quarter began. He was in the first lane of the rubber track that encapsulates this entire field, dancing, some moves, getting himself psyched up, and then he came to the sideline and patted everybody, every teammate on the sideline on the shoulders from right to left, the entire squad. And then what did he do? Next possession, big 83-yard touchdown catch. He's running a crossing pattern here. Spainhauer flushed out and throws for Lentz, incomplete. Tough play, Lentz, all the way across the field, incomplete.
Well, now the adjustment the defense has made is there's a safety directly over the top of Grimes, about 13 yards deep, and then the defensive back in the face on the line of scrimmage trying to slow down Grimes. So they've brought that safety from a shade position all the way over the top to totally stack him up to try to force Spainhauer to find somebody else to beat him.
Well, Reggie Lucas knows one more mistake that involves his defensive secondary and Grimes, this game's over. 2nd and 10 for Millbrook. Draws it back out of the gut of Donaldson. Tough pass, trying to thread one in there. Penalty marker comes in late as the official gets knocked over on the play. Was the penalty marker thrown, or did it get knocked out of his hand? And it looks like there will be a penalty. Trying to squeeze one in toward Grimes. Grant was there on the coverage. And it is an ineligible receiver downfield on Millbrook. 24-14 Millbrook. Wildcats, the second place finisher out of the Cap 7 behind the unbeaten Cardinal Gibbons Crusaders. Wake Forest finished second in the Northern behind the unbeaten Roseville Rams. 2nd and 15 for Spainhauer and Millbrook. Protection breaks down. A free run on Spainhauer, but the attacker misses and throws to Lentz. Cradles it in right at the 40-yard line. Well, the blitz came from Wake Forest. Nobody picked him up, but an easy kind of escape for Spainhauer.
And this is just outstanding play up front to get out of the way of the rush, but then keep your eyes up the field. Spainhauer, attacking the line of scrimmage, forcing defenders to come up, but knowing the whole time he's going to throw the ball. And Ethan Lentz, when his quarterback's in trouble, he just finds a way, has that knack to get open.
3rd and 5 for the Wildcats. Donaldson in to block. Now he'll be the outlet. Deep ball down the middle, brought in by Stevens inside the 20 and ripped down to the 15-yard line. And Stevens gets up and says that's a first down for the Wildcats.
And this offense is just clicking on all cylinders. Again, the defense is dropping. 8 guys, only 3 guys are rushing. They're trying to prevent the pass, and Millbrook, especially their skill position, they're fast, they're athletic, really good route runners, just finding creases to get open for Spainhauer.
Well, this is exactly why Clarence Inscore loved the possibility of his team going deep. They have so many different weapons offensively, and a solid quarterback who makes very good decisions. As Spainhauer keeps it and tucks it inside the 10 on that NC 529 first down play.
And the interesting thing is I keep talking about the defensive alignment. Are you going to bring an extra rusher, or are you going to drop everybody? Well, when Wake Forest drops everybody, you would think that Millbrook would run the football because you only have 3 guys up front that you have to block. But Millbrook is still going and throwing the ball, but having success against a defense that's designed to stop the pass. They're still attacking, and they're able to convert.
Now, this is about the same situation Millbrook found itself in late in the first half. Up 10, driving deep into Wake Forest territory. Maybe some questionable play calls were made, and then the interception in the end zone. They're trying to move up by beyond 10 this time as Spainhauer rushes this one out of bounds. Felt good pressure coming and did not have an open look for Caleb Stevens downfield. So you wonder for Clarence Inscore, I'm sure he's probably second-guessing himself on how that final possession of the first half played out. Now you wonder if he's maybe repositioning the pieces on the chessboard here about how to get some points on the board.
You've got to play it safe here because you have to get points. You cannot afford another turnover like you had going into the half here. So I'd expect an easy, quick completion to try to get rid of the ball quickly to elude a possible blitz.
This is a 3rd down play. Big pressure coming. The release to Donaldson. Cuts back and then slipped down. Trying to make a move around Max Hines. Donaldson went down, and he may be hurt. He's extended that right leg on the grass. Hopefully just a cramp for Donaldson, and that's what the athletic trainer is indicating here, man. Those hurts.
Perfect play call. It was all set up. This would have been a touchdown if he could have kept his feet because he would have brought it back inside.
And, dude, look at that calf just blow up on the right leg of Donaldson as he was planting the left foot. The cramp in the right calf just exploded like a balloon. And Donaldson is a kid we saw in the state championship basketball tournaments a couple of weeks ago. Such an integral figure for the Millbrook Wildcats. We actually caught up with Christopher Davis, the championship head coach for the Wildcats, up here on the roof of the press box during halftime. And, Donaldson has put a lot of miles on that body athletically in his time here for Millbrook.
He's had an outstanding spring. I would say you win a state championship, and then you come out and you star on the football field. Good to see him jog it off here.
Yeah, get some fluid, some electrolytes in that body, and get right back on the field.
Donaldson, Christopher Davis, another guy with a great spring as well. He was such a good person, and He led his team to an outstanding victory over Ardrey-Kell,
who's now coaching the girls' tennis team for Millbrook. Their season starts in a couple of weeks. He and his wife took a vacation down to Jamaica. They took the Friday Night Rivals trophy to Jamaica. He said he took it on the beach, he took it in the ocean, and the field goal attempt on 4th down is good. And it is now a 13-point lead as Crute delivers for the second time in the game. So Millbrook does get points this time, and they're up 13.
That was an important field goal to continue to stretch this lead out. And then they're being careful, enforcing the pressure over to the opposite sideline. Still plenty of time for the Cougars here, but Millbrook is shortening up this ball game. That was a long drive, and you come away with points.
So 3:37 left in the third quarter. It is now a 13-point lead for Millbrook, 27-14. Wildcats scored the first 17 points of the game before Wake Forest got on the board on a 25-yard touchdown run by Stansel very late in that first half. But then Wake Forest got the football to begin the third quarter, went right down the field, made it 17-14. And before they had a chance to just relax and feel comfortable and content that they were right back in the game, boom. Spainhauer and Grimes hooked up from 83 yards out. .62 now here in Central North Carolina. We're coming from Millbrook High School in Raleigh, North Carolina, ready for a West Shore home kickoff. Convert your old bathtub into a modern and spacious walk-in shower in just one day. Approached by Crute and Novaren. He is grabbed by Spencer around the 15-yard line, bumps off of a would-be tackler, exposed at the football bit, stays on his feet, swings it out wide, dangerous here. He's over the 40 and tackled at the 45-yard line. A bold return by Spencer, who stepped right in front of a teammate and said, I'm the playmaker on the kickoff team. Deshaun Grant, yield to me.
He wanted the ball. And you look at him fight through here to get extra yardage. I'll tell you, number 56 there from Millbrook, the sophomore, Ian Rember, that made the tackle. He shot down like a missile. He destroyed 2 Wake Forest Cougars and then hustled to finally make the play.
All right, pressure now back on the shoulders of Hillman in the Wake Forest offense. They will throw to the flat, and it's caught by DePasquale with some room. And DePasquale into Millbrook territory, down to the 43. That's about a 14-yard pickup. He has been an interesting player to watch. He finds open territory, whether it's in the flats, underneath, or even downfield.
He's very versatile. See him running the ball and then the hands as well. And this offense now starting to play more up-tempo. You can feel the sense of urgency.
NC 529 first down. Never too early or too late to start saving it for education. And that's the easiest call of the night for the officials as Xavier Majors, the left tackle for Wake Forest, bangs himself on that red, white, and blue Wake Forest helmet and commits a 5-yard penalty.
5 penalties at the halftime break. You see here, he's trying to shoot off the ball. And you see it was caused from the A-gap pressure from Parker Schown, the senior, coming up there. That's what forced the offsides.
Pressure coming. Hillman eludes to his right, throws over the middle, and finds his best man in the game, Sanchez, again inside the 30-yard line. 3 resounding catches by Sanchez. Yeah, pull up your pants here. You don't want to get penalized for unsportsmanlike conduct right there. Big play for the Cougars to first down.
Look there. So he catches it. Well, it wasn't his fault. It kind of got pulled down by Millbrook, but now you got to quickly bring him up. And I'll tell you, he's got to pull him up because he's got to be ready here on this next play. They need to continue to throw Sanchez the ball.
Inside handoff. And this is Stansel, who's back on the field after that cramp a couple of moments ago. Good to see him back. Gain of 2. But yes, I still have a massive concern for Sanchez. I don't know if it was a belt breaking or a little bit too much halftime training table food, but
it looks like the belt's tight in there. Yeah, he's got it back there. Yeah.
Well done, young man. Sanchez, the junior, 3 very important catches in this one for Sanchez. 2nd down at 8 for Wake Forest. They trail by 13. Final minute and a half of the 3rd quarter. Swings it out, looking for Spencer. Spencer steps one man, gets close to the 10-yard line and thrown back. The Wake Forest certainly looks, they look as good offensively as we've seen all game long.
And the offensive line is doing a better job now. These wide receivers, again, they're more in the game plan. Wake Forest is throwing the ball more often than we probably would have predicted. Being down, they're going to have to take some shots, and the skilled players are stepping up now, picking up positive yards after the catch.
Yeah. Per game this year, Wake Forest averaging 73 yards through the air. They're close to 200 in this one, and we're in the 3rd quarter. This is a 1st down carry. Little delay, and that Stancil again to the left. Not much there, maybe to the 10. Inside a minute for the 3rd.
The secondary for Millbrook has been physical all night long. That was just one-on-one blocks on the outside. Who is going to win? Is it going to be the wide receiver, or is it going to be the defensive back? The defensive backs were more physical, and they closed things off and allowed the linebackers to flow over the top.
Now the importance of Wake Forest defense holding Millbrook to a field goal in that last possession is evident here. If they can punch it into the end zone, it's a 1-score game heading toward the 4th quarter. Hillman rushing right, throws underneath, and finds his man inside the 5-yard line, and that is Trey Stancil again. Could be the final play of this 3rd quarter, and Wake Forest down 13, knocking at the door.
Well, and Stancil is continuing to step up. Now there on that last play, just kind of sneaking out of the backfield and getting closer to the end zone.
All right, clock was stopped momentarily to reset the chains. They will run one more play and toward the end zone. This is going to be stood right up and thrown back by Millbrook as Chris Moore denied one more time between the tackles. So it'll be a 2nd and goal coming up for Wake Forest when we come back. 4th quarter action on the way. Millbrook 27, Wake Forest 14. 4th and goal for the Cougars when we return to Millbrook. Well, that's the extent of what we have coming up. Just that far away from a 1st down. So the opening play of this 4th quarter, Jay, of high importance. Wake Forest football, 4th and goal. They need 4th down and about 3 inches. As the football lies at about the 2.5-yard line. Trailing by 13. Hillman keeps it. Runs right, surges forward, has the 1st down, close to the end zone. And Millbrook is saying that he was denied the end zone. They're saying, did the Wildcats stop them here or waiting on the official indication here?
Well, it looks like Millbrook was celebrating because they thought it was 4th and goal.
I think you're right.
And Wake Forest got enough for the 1st, but they're saying, oh, no,
That's
we got
why
the
I
first.
was confused. I'm like, clearly he has the 3 inches he needed. But, yeah, I think you're exactly right. Millbrook thought that was a goal-to-go situation.
And interesting because Hillman wasn't lined up under center. We thought that could have been a sneak, but there they brought him back his shotgun, and he got just enough.
And now it is 1st and goal. And into the end zone, Deepa Swale basically untouched. And Wake Forest is not going away.
Here we go. 4th quarter. The Cougars' backs are against the walls. They come out here. You get the 1st down on 4th and inches. Next play, the offensive line. Nice job up front. And we've got a ball game. Wake Forest continue to fight through adversity. They got down big, clawing back, manufacturing points, and still staying true to their game plan. Mixing in some passing plays, but doing it on the ground.
Extra point drilled through, 27-21. The 1-yard touchdown run by Deepa Swale, 9th of the year. And that's your West Shore home touchdown. Convert your old bathtub into a modern and spacious walk-in shower in just one day. 27-21 Millbrook. Yeah, that was, again, there was so much time in between. You had the measurement at the other end of the field before they moved the football to the other end zone. And I think you're exactly right. I think the Millbrook players thought it was now setting up 4th and goal when it wasn't a goal to go. It was 4th and inches to get to a goal to go situation. And they were so excited that they stopped him short of the goal line. They thought they got the football back and it was basically over.
It's tough to regroup after you think you're getting off the field. You've got to come back out on. And again, Wake Forest, I mean, they're remarkable, this team, just how they continue to come back.
Well, we do know that Reggie Lucas likes to mix things up as far as trick plays go. He punts, fake punts a lot near midfield. Do you think he has the confidence in his defense to stop Millbrook here in this 4th quarter, or is he going to try and steal a possession somehow, like maybe perhaps an onside kick? I doubt we'll see it now, but it's at least something I think to consider. Full boot here, and this will helicopter inside the 5-yard line. Returnable here for Donaldson, and Donaldson will get stopped outside the 20-yard line. Excellent coverage by the Cougars. Stephen Williams.
Patrick, you made a great point. I think before this ball game is over, we're going to see Reggie Lucas throw in a wrinkle, a trick play, something on special teams to help catapult his team. And Millbrook here tonight, they've been at their best when they've been aggressive. You know, even when the defense's lineup says run the ball, they've still thrown it and they've had success. So I would expect Clarence Inscore to continue to attack vertically and trust your wide receivers in Spainhour.
On 1st down, on the stretch handoff, beyond the 20, not a whole lot else. Hudson on one of his few carries of the game. And another Millbrook player is down. We'll see if this might be cramp related as well, perhaps. Looks like that is the case. And now, a double cramp. Now, one cramp is tough enough, and look at this. He's a human wishbone right now with 2 cramps. Well, while they deal with this injury, we want to thank United Rentals for powering tonight's Friday Night Rivals football game. United Rentals, you're building the future. We are here to help. We are here to help. Unfortunately, we're not here to help this young athlete on the field dealing with dual cramps.
It's tough.
And help to his feet, and that is Eric Galloway. Who's playing on both sides of the football as well. We saw him make a big defensive play in the first half. And yes, guzzle down as much water as you can find over there.
He's going to have 10 full cups of Gatorade or water, whatever his drink of choice is. He's going to have to drink 10 of those to get his fluids back.
And remember, Clarence Inscore said we don't have a lot of depth on our offensive line, so Galloway is on the sidelines recovering. Spainhour tosses one over the middle. That slipped out of his hand on the delivery. Overshot Grimes. Closest man to it, though, was Vance Day, member of the defensive secondary. Fortunately for the Wildcats, it falls incomplete.
Now 3rd and long situation coming up. If you're on the defensive side, what do? You bring the blitz, you go back in coverage. I think Wake Forest has to change some things up here. I think you've got to bring the heat. I know you've been giving up some big plays, but you've got to give this offensive line with one of your guys out of the ball game, Gregory out of the ball game, test him. Test them up front and try to get a sack here and get something going with some disruption.
Well, look who is on Grimes, the top of the screen. The coach's son, Nigel Lucas, on Grimes. 3rd down and 8. Spainhour not looking Grimes' way, now being chased. Wants the marker and dances out of bounds around the 29. That's going to be really close. Depends on the spots. Spainhour hands the football to one of the officials and said, no, I got a little bit further, and it will be a 1st down for Millbrook.
Wow.
Good awareness by Spainhour.
I mean, we've seen his arm tonight and been so impressed, but the legs see him here again, elude the pass rush, keep his eyes upfield and know where that marker is to just get enough. Outstanding play by the senior.
So they give Spainhour the 30-yard line. 10:43 remaining, 4th quarter. NCDHHS 1st down. You have a spot, take your shots. Spainhour pump fake to the left sideline. Roaming now to the right. Throws a dart down the side and connects with his man, Ethan Lentz. Running right. Throwing with the grain and put that one right between the numbers.
That's the second time we've seen broken plays where Lentz and Spainhour connect. And this is all because of the vision of Spainhour. Look at him. Instead of running upfield, just running side to side with those eyes up, looking over the field, finding where the open man is. Lentz in step with him, darting towards the sideline for a target, and he hit him in stride.
I mean, those two were running basically in tandem from the hash toward the sideline, made that a much more palatable throw. First down inside Wake Forest territory. This is Donaldson, bumps off of a would-be tackler in the backfield and did not get a great deal of momentum. Slowing that play down again was the sophomore Jeremiah Bethel for Wake Forest. Gain of 2. Now, here are the numbers as we near 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. A field goal here by Millbrook puts them up by 9, which turns it into a 2-possession game. Now, the calling card for the last decade plus for Wake Forest has been defense. Pitching shutouts in state championship games. Getting stops when you absolutely need them. And the Cougars are about at that moment where their defense has to get a stop. Grimes in motion, and it looked like they're about to be 2 in motion simultaneously, so Millbrook calls a timeout. Underscores the importance of the moment. 2nd down and 8 facing Millbrook when we return. Wildcats up on Wake Forest by 6. (27-21) Millbrook leading Wake Forest, and yes, Wesley Grimes, the junior wide receiver, having a night. A couple of huge touchdown receptions. 67 yards on the first play from scrimmage tonight. And then earlier in the third quarter, an 83-yard touchdown catch. 2nd and 8 for Millbrook. Showing blitz the Cougars. Here they come. Jailbreak and a pass to Lentz. Did he get his hands underneath? He did at the 40-yard line. Cougars, Jay, sent 4 or 5. And still, Spainhour able to locate Lentz on that radar.
They brought the house. I mean, not much time to throw. And Lentz got his hands underneath it. And then Millbrook, they know the time of the ball game it is. Fourth quarter, you're in the driver's seat. Look at them slow the ball game down and use this clock.
This is now 3rd and 3 for the Wildcats. Nearing 9 minutes left in regulation. Millbrook leads Wake Forest by 6. Could be 4-down territory here. Spainhour rush to his right, being chased. Tough throw down the seams, broken up beautifully, and no flag. Stevens wants one, but it was Deshaun Grant with a beautiful stretch of the left hand to poke that pass away, and it's 4th down.
Perfect technique by Grant. Look at this hit by Hines on Spainhour, and then Grant here coming over the top. Excellent call. I mean, that is picture perfect defense.
And it will not be 4-down territory for Millbrook. Hunter Crute is on to punt it away. And what did we say about the defense needing to get that stop? They just did. Spencer awaiting the return. It comes his way. He will let it land inside the 10 and tumble into the end zone for a touchback. Well, that will be a disheartening finish to that drive for the Millbrook Wildcats. And now, for the first time, really since the game kicked off, Wake Forest has possession of the football, Jay, to take the lead if they go down the field and score.
And it's amazing how they kind of just keep on chopping wood. You know, they haven't really had any consistency tonight where they put it together for a quarter or for a half. You know, they've been trailing and trying to mix in some big plays where they've had some mistakes, but now you're in a position here to start off this drive.
Inside handoff, deepest Squally again, slowed down, trying to turn the right corner, nowhere to go. And there's Jalen Donaldson again, who dealt with cramps on his own earlier in this third quarter. He makes the tackle.
Donaldson, with the help of Santiago, let's see, 32 and number 2, just standing strong at the point of attack.
Lost maybe half of football on that play. Second down. Hillman, the senior quarterback. Stancil in motion. And Hillman will throw. Steps up, a lot of pressure, heaves it to a wide open Deep Pasquale, catches in midfield, races down the sideline. Deep Pasquale, high steps out of a tackle, touchdown Wake Forest. Mikey Deep Pasquale, a Houdini escape on what would have been a tackle short of the 15-yard line, timed it perfectly, takes it in from 80 yards out, and we are tied. I don't even think he can believe that move in the open field. This extra point by Ethan Howard for the lead, and he missed it. Howard, who missed a field goal in the first half, toward the same uprights, yanked it left, does the same with an extra point that would have given the Cougars the lead. But Wake Forest has come back from 17 down, and they have tied up this opening round game with 7:55 left in the fourth quarter. Wake Forest 27, Millbrook 27. Mikey Deep Pasquale had 105 total yards of receiving through the course of the regular season. 80 on that last play that ultimately tied it up, but another special teams breakdown for the Cougars after a missed field goal in the first half by Ethan Howard. He jerks the extra point wide left, and the game is tied. 27-27, 7:55 left in regulation. And time for another West Shore home kickoff. Convert your old bathtub into a modern, spacious walk-in shower in just one day. Returnable for the Wildcats. Stevens beyond the 25 to about the 28. Well, gut check time now for the Millbrook Wildcats. Disappointed they have lost the lead. Fortunate to be tied.
I mean, you had momentum most of this ball game. Wake Forest has grabbed it now. Evened up. What are you going to do? I mean, Ford Spainhour has been outstanding tonight. He's been the leader for his team. He continues to fight and make big plays. But now things are back at neutral. You got 7:50 left to go to the next round of the playoffs. Who's going to make the most plays who's going to win this game.
All right, Lentz in motion. Spainhour puts it on the ground and sprinting through the middle for good yardage. That's Donaldson to the 40. That'll be 11 and a first down.
He has such a good feel with his offensive line. Look at up front, just setting up his blockers, allowing them to do the job. Jalen Johnson cleared the path, and then a couple cutbacks, and then you get an explosive run.
Out to the 41-yard line, clock running. 7.5 left in this fourth quarter. NC DHHS first down. You have a spot, take your shots. Wildcat football 27-all. Spainhour wants Lentz in motion again. Ball is dropped, and Spainhour dives forward to the 40-yard line. It covered up just before Kyle Leary got his fingernails on it.
You could feel the breath come out of the stadium. See just kind of a miscommunication. Donaldson had his head up. It looked like it was a zone read, but he thought that Spainhour was going to pull it. And lucky to jump back on the ball.
A reminder, the winner of this game next week takes on the winner of the top seed in the East, Apex Friendship and Pinecrest. Dramatic pause for a purpose. Second and a long 10. Spainhour feels the pressure, guns it over the middle, batted in the air, and that is incomplete, and no flags down. You know, the defensive secondary has turned things up here for Wake Forest. By the way, the top seed Apex Friendship Patriots are trailing in the fourth quarter 24-10 to the 8 seed Pinecrest. Could be a real opening upper half of this region if that score holds up for the winner of this one. And potentially another home game for Millbrook should they win. Third down. Spainhour dumps off the screen. at the 40. Donaldson a comeback, has the first down, motors into Wake Forest territory. Ball comes loose, but I believe he was down. The ball did pop out of there. Wake Forest was on it, but Donaldson, his knee was down, and now he hobbles to the sideline again.
This is a perfect play call. Donaldson, one of your best players on offense, just follows his offensive line with a screen being called. Cyril Rotz, Eric Galloway, who we saw had those cramps, back in the ball game as well at left guard number 78. Rotz, 77, over at left tackle, set things up for Donaldson.
I mean, they are squeezing every play they can get out of Donaldson. High snap, broken play, Spainhauer in trouble, and he's dragged down back in midfield by a phalanx of Wake Forest Cougars, led by Max Hines.
And Hines has been all over the field tonight in pass coverage as well as rushing the quarterback. And Isaiah Pipkin, number 11, committed to Toledo, finally rushing here, creating havoc, and then Hines cleaning it up.
Big defensive play by Wake Forest. By the way, though, that could have been a game-saving catch of the snap by Spainhauer, because that was over the helmet of his running back to his left, and he one-handed it with his left. A loss of 7. Nearing 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, game time. And a marker is down, and this is going to be, well, the official on the sideline is signaling offsides on Millbrook. And we'll see if that is indeed the call. That got a couple of the coaches off the Wildcats sideline onto the field of play, and it is lining up evidently in the neutral zone by the Wildcats, the offensive team.
And now for the defense. You've got to be on alert for a screen here. Millbrook has been setting them up all night long. You have to be careful here. Look for the screen. If you see the offensive line release, you cannot continue to rush Spain out. You've got to fall back. So if you're a defender right now, you can't give up the play over the top. Keep everything in front of you and watch the screen.
And the running back in the backfield for Millbrook is Nick Hudson. 2nd down and 22. A sprint out to the left. Loading up, he takes a massive hit. The pass is incomplete. Spainhauer got absolutely floored by Chris Allen and Wake Forest. Spainhauer is up, but he's wobbling.
Well, the star junior, he's been double, triple team, even quadruple team tonight. Look at the middle of the field. They're a double team, and not for long. 94 broke through. And then that is just a punishing hit. And Spainhauer took the contact. You see him kind of get drilled right into the grass.
And that was a legal hit by Allen. He did not go to the helmet. It was a heavy hit, really toward the right shoulder area, but just punishing blow because of the brute strength by Allen as Millbrook calls a timeout. Well, this is by far the moment in this game for Wake Forest where they appear to have seized solid momentum, and the score is in their favor because they're not trailing anymore. They trailed by 17 early in the second quarter, and just methodically stuck to the system, maintained the game plan, and the defense has made a couple of big stops, and they've caught Millbrook at 27.
And much improved here in the second half. And this defense, one more play and you get off the field. And on the opposite side for Millbrook, 3rd and long. Probably too long to run a screen here. So what do? I would look for Wesley Grimes. He's had a huge night tonight. I don't care if he's double or triple covered. Find a way to get the ball to number 1.
But the Cougars have found a way to quickly get into the backfield and diminish the time with which he can throw. They rush 4 this time, looking for a screen. He will heave it down the center, looking for Grimes. Double coverage. Grimes reaches up, and amidst 4 Wake Forest Cougar hands, Grimes comes down with a football. Penalty marker down. Who's it on? Most important call of this contest. If it's on Millbrook, it's 3rd down and about 50, and it is offensive pass interference against Wesley Grimes and Millbrook. And instead of a deep completion into the red zone with 4:24 left in a tie game, Millbrook goes further in reverse on this drive.
And there was pressure. And they still had the safety help over the top, and then you can see the push.
It was the shove against number 4 right there, Nigel Lucas.
That right arm just shoved him. It was a good call. And an easy call there in the open field. That's where that separation came about.
Well, the coach's son had the interception in the end zone at the end of the first half. And now the willing party to accept contact from Grimes on the biggest play of the game. This is now 3rd down and 32. They set up a screen, and it's in Grimes' hands, and Grimes is going to be tackled at the 35 by Tristan Spencer. And Wake Forest is going to get the football back, Jay, in probably decent field position with 3 timeouts and a tie score and really a chance to win.
Well, and the amazing part is on that penalty, not only did you get the completion, but it marked Millbrook back so far. So this is going to help out the field position potentially if Spencer can field this in a big way. That defense, though, standing strong.
And not much of a rush and not much of a kick. Approaching on the run. This is Spencer, brought down just south of midfield. So Wake Forest has 3 timeouts, 3:28 to go. It is tied. The defense has pitched a 4th quarter shutout on the road at Millbrook. And onto the field returns Chad Hillman. Now, if you're thinking a field goal to win it, Ethan Howard has missed a field goal going this direction, and he missed an extra point a moment ago that would have given Wake Forest the lead. Reggie Lucas said special teams would be key, and he said, frankly, our special teams have been well below average this year from what we're accustomed to seeing. That's played out tonight. Trick play. Looking to throw deep with Swally. Spins away. Couldn't go downfield. Now he's going to run, and he has room. Spins to the wide side, to the 40, down the sideline. Out of bounds inside the 35. Mikey DePasquale was going to throw this downfield. It wasn't there. And the sophomore had the wherewithal to bring it down and improvise.
What a play. He looked over towards the right. Double coverage over on that side. Then Hillman was streaking towards the left. He looked up. He didn't want to throw it because he said, hey, I'm going to make it happen here with my legs.
What a 4th quarter DePasquale has had. I mean, he had a really solid first half. Found some holes. He was really one of the most productive offensive players they had as far as their skill guys. But in this 4th quarter, that touchdown reception we saw a few minutes ago, and then that play, again, as a young player, a sophomore on this team, not forcing the throw if it wasn't there, in the magnitude of the moment, says a lot about his football IQ.
He's staying under control in a critical moment and making the right play, reading the field, doing the right thing. And we talk about all these guys that are college prospects. He's maybe the brightest one of them all, with him only being a sophomore and all the plays he's made tonight. He's been huge.
So instead of a high-risk pass, he turned that into a 19-yard gain. Now let's focus on the Millbrook defense, Jay. They thought they were in control. They were handling this Wake Forest offense really from every play, from every variation, from every wrinkle that they were thrown at. They were able to be disciplined and make the plays. Now they're on their heels.
Yeah, and you've got to maintain your confidence. And then on the outside, the defensive ends have to hold contained. You cannot allow these misdirection plays, these quick hitters getting to the outside. You cannot let them get to the perimeter. You've got to bring the ball back inside.
3:15 remaining 4th quarter. DePasquale in motion, turns upfield too soon. This play will not count. DePasquale will make the catch. He takes it in the end zone. It is not going to count. Flag is down back at the 32. Simple call. DePasquale came in motion and then curled it upfield. If he's in the Canadian Football League, that's a touchdown. It's the NCHSAA football playoffs, and this does not count.
And it looked good. It just is against the rules. And the flag came down. A good call. But that was a nice try. And I'll tell you, he had that extra little momentum as he was running forward, and it benefited him.
Yep, he banked out of the turn too early. 5-yard penalty and a sigh of relief for the moment for a very concerned group of Millbrook fans. 3:07 left in the fourth quarter. 1st and 15. Stancil gets through the first wave and inside the 30, cut down around the 27.
All right, now for Wake Forest, you want to use this clock up. You want to score, but also this is 4-down territory. I mean, you get a positive gain here to make it 2nd and medium, but you want to run the ball, use this clock. But again, with your kicking situation, you're in 4-down territory. So Millbrook has to stand strong here to try to get off the field because they're going to have to do it on 4th as well, potentially.
2nd down, play fake. Hillman throws deep toward the end zone. In trouble there. There's contact. No flag. Incomplete. Looking for Dominic Williams, the junior wide receiver. The official says get up. There's no flag. It's 3rd down. Legs got tangled a bit right there. That's Caleb Stevens in coverage. Now, one thing to note, Millbrook does not have any more timeouts. 2:27 left, fourth quarter. Even if the Cougars are thinking field goal, and again with the missed field goal, the missed extra point, even if they were, this would still be a 44-yarder from this position. 3rd and 5. Hillman to the right sideline. Overshoots Stancil. Incomplete. Now the decision for Reggie Lucas.
Well, I'm surprised we didn't see a run there to not only potentially get the first down or shorten up the down and distance, but to use the clock. And it looks like here, field goal unit.
Yeah, Ethan Howard is coming out. So Ethan Howard, the senior place kicker for Wake Forest, is out for a moment of redemption. He has missed a field goal and missed an extra point, each to this same unfriendly upright. For the lead and a potential win from 44 yards. It is on the way toward the uprights, and it is good! "44 yards from Ethan Howard. And for the first time all game, the Cougars have the lead, 30-27. And what a moment of recovery for this young man. He knew it when it left his foot. He never lost confidence in himself, and clearly neither did Reggie Lucas, his head coach.
A clutch player. What a kick. And under the circumstances, hanging in there, coming through for his team. And you could see the excitement over on that sideline, the confidence of Howard after that ball went through the uprights. And now Millbrook, he's still got plenty of time. No timeouts, though.
But you have Wesley Grimes.
You do have that weapon in Spainhour, which has been, I mean, he's played one of the best games of his career tonight.
So there is the man of the hour. For now, Ethan Howard, the senior who does not want to make this his last football game. Yanked a couple of kicks, probably in his mind a couple of gimmies in that first half with the field goal, and that extra point he can make in his sleep, but not tonight. But he recovers. A 44-yard field goal for the lead. Wake Forest 30, Millbrook 27. And he might now kick this kickoff to Sonic down the street. Returnable from the 9 for Millbrook. Through the middle, bursting is Caleb Stevens, and Stevens a nice return to the 30. So Millbrook is going to have 2 minutes and 13 seconds, no timeouts, field goal to tie, and force overtime, a touchdown to win it. And there is Ford Spainhour, whose father attended and graduated high school at Wake Forest. We don't have the official passing numbers for Spainhour in this game, but he has to be 300 plus, if not maybe mid threes. But can he engineer one last drive? 4 receivers into formation, blocking back in front of Spainhour. And Spainhour opens things up with a safe pass to the right sideline. Good for about 13 yards into the hands of Caleb Stevens. Now the game began, the very first play from scrimmage was a 67-yard touchdown reception from Spainhour to Grimes. Very first play. They started another drive in the third quarter with an 83-yard touchdown pass from Spainhour to Grimes. They're 57 yards away in a minute 45 from the second round. Pressure from the blind side. He feels it. Ducks forward. Loses the football. It's on the ground. And Wake Forest has recovered. Fuller Howard picks up the loose football. Spainhour scrambling forward, desperately trying to pick up a few more yards. Lost the handle, and Howard recovers for Wake Forest.
And Howard had that tip going into the halftime break to allow Lucas to get the interception. Here he jumped on the ball. This defense standing up at the most critical moments. And Wake Forest, they feel this victory. They feel themselves going to that second round, and Millbrook devastated.
And Spainhour is basically collapsing in the arms of his head coach. And Millbrook out of timeouts. It will just take a couple of more knees. We'll take another look.
And here the pressure. Pipkin, number 11, coming up there. Allen as well. And then that ball just kind of ricocheted off of the hip. And there Howard jumped on it.
He didn't lose the handle. It looked like it was knocked maybe by a knee from the side out of his hands. And Spainhour, the senior quarterback for Millbrook, on what Clarence Inscore felt like was his best ever team and his best ever chance to go deep into the playoffs. That is going to be how this season and Spainhour's career ends. One more knee will do it for Wake Forest. Wake Forest trailed 17-0 with 3:35 left in the second quarter. Offense was going nowhere. The Millbrook defense was blocking Wake Forest at every turn. But a late first half touchdown gave Wake life, then a pick in the end zone saved them, and then a furious fourth quarter rally where the Wake Forest defense has shut out Millbrook over the final 12 minutes. They scored 16 unanswered points in the fourth quarter, and Wake Forest upends Millbrook and will advance. The final couple of seconds tick away, and Reggie Lucas's Cougars are on to the second round. A shocking finish. Wake Forest 30, Millbrook 27. And a stunned Millbrook Wildcat sideline looking across to a huge celebration on their field. Wake Forest moves to the second round. Jason Halter down in the field when we come back. A shocking comeback in the opening round of the 4AA playoffs. Wake Forest outscores Millbrook 16-0 in the final quarter and overcomes the Wildcats 30-27. Ethan Howard with the kick of his life, a 44-yard field goal inside the final 2 minutes to win it for Wake Forest. And how about this for a note? The top seed in the East region has lost. It is a final. Pinecrest beat Apex Friendship 24-17. So not only does Wake Forest advance, Wake Forest will host the second round next week against Pinecrest. Let's go down to the field, and Jason Halter with the victorious Wake Forest Cougars. That one is sweet. It's a playoff win and a playoff Friday Night Rivals trophy presentation. Congratulations to Wake Forest. We're trying to make another run to what would be a 4th state championship. Well, all of us would like to take a minute to thank all the wonderful folks at West Shore Home, Nissan, NC Assist Loan, and Riddle and Brantley who make these games possible for all of you viewers at home. We'd also like to thank our other great supporters for their contributions to our Friday Night Rivals telecast. Those would be NC 529, NC DHHS, and United Rentals. And we'd especially like to thank tonight's participating high schools and all of their administrators for their support, Wake Forest High School, and our host right here at Millbrook. Well, this is our last week of Friday Night Rivals. Don't forget to join us for the state championships 3 weeks away on CW22 and my RDC 28. For Jason Halter and our entire terrific crew, Patrick Keenis from Millbrook High School, thank you for watching. A thriller in Raleigh goes to Wake Forest 30-27. They're on to the second round. Good night from Raleigh.